Okay. Let people start coming in. But keep talking, because like, this was getting good already, just so much chatting, catching up.
I have a question for you before we even get started. Why do you usually put your film this way?
Because it's the only way you're allowed to on a cell phone in the live stream.
Oh, okay.
It won't let me go into landscape mode.
Oh.
Which I wanted to start doing with the stream rig, you know, and I set it up, but I wasn't even sure how long I was going to do this for and what's going on. And this other guy was going to do this breathing course, and he like went nuts and robbed me again. So I don't even know what I'm doing with that. So this is what we have for now. And if YouTube would allow me to do it in landscape mode,
so right here will show how many people are on right now.
And it'll show me likes, and then I probably would. I want to see if this will be better for us and give people a bird's eye view. If this will let me. Oops, I almost broke the goddamn holster. Technical difficulties, please stand by. I really jacked this up, didn't I? Oh, it's broken! I think I broke the frame of it. I may have to go upstairs and get my, Is this cracked? Is that why this isn't working? Let's see. Well, this is a great way to start the stream. What the hell happened here? This is so bizarre.
I guess I should have brought my tripod.
I have another one. I have two of them actually. But I don't understand what happened here. There's a post screwed out of it. Well, anyway. Okay. So I guess this goes inside like this. Okay, so this got popped out. Yeah. Whoa, can I rotate the button? See? Wait, it's gonna let me do that? Oh, it's locked. You see what I'm saying? It says rotate device.
Yeah, it's telling you to rotate it back.
Yeah. Which is so lame. So lame. Okay, let's see if I can get this to fix. Oh man, people are gonna love this beginning. It's so
yeah, because you lots of times you catch in your comments. I see people comment that are like, "Why are you starting the stream when you're like getting a drink?"
Because I feel like it. Because no one's here yet. I'm being a little whiny cunt. Because I want to.
Because I can.
Let me go get the fancy one. Oh boy. How did that even happen? That doesn't make any sense. You know what? Let's just do that. And leave it there for now. You just stay there. I'll be right back. Oh my god.
Be right back. Oh, there is one person watching. Hello, we're having technical difficulties, so just please stand by.
We're having technical difficulties. I almost fell down the freaking stairs. Okay.
Oh wow, I got the light and everything, huh?
I got all the stuff, I just don't use it because... Hey, Belfast Island, what's going up, buddy? Alright. I think I almost broke the entire setup, so we're getting started. Just give me a second, guys, I'm sorry. I'm gonna make... I took the whole thing off. So this is
yeah,
what...
because I think it's, you can see it's cracked right there. Yeah.
Well, I got another one, so... And this one's more professional, so you guys can see how professional we're gonna be now. Alright. This is what I should be using anyway. But I'm lazy. Yeah, we can get more light now. Look at that. Here's this one. Right, this actually works out pretty cool. And then we'll have the light and stuff. There's the switch. Cool.
Wow. Okay.
This might actually be better. And we'll give everybody... I can put this high up. Like this. I think that might give people a better angle. Okay, good. And you know what we'll do here? I'll put the TV on and we'll see comments. If anybody has any questions,
Oh, it'll pop up on here.
I'll be able to read it on a bigger screen, I think.
Nice.
But yeah, so that was that. So let's go back to what you were saying. I gotta fix this.
Now, I know. Now we had talked about specific things, and so.
Oh, look at that! There's your face.
when we're mentioning stuff, we don't use names. Right.
Don't use names.
Right.
And also some of the stuff that you obviously know shouldn't be public. Just don't put it to the public. I'm just going to get the chat here. Live chat. There we go. Cool. So the live chat should come up on the side over there, so we'll be able to read the comments and not have to keep looking up this little tiny thing. Hey guys, can you just give me a little test and say hi on the chat so I can see if I can read you on the screen? Because I'm going to try to use the TV to read your chat instead of looking at the camera. That'll be extremely helpful.
Oh, hi.
All right, cool.
Yes,
hey,
it's
perfect.
working. Okay.
Zane, what's up? Hey, Shanto. Okay, great. Okay, now we're cooking with gas, my teacher would say. All right. So, how long are you going to be here today? How long you got?
Probably till 3, 4 o'clock, I guess.
We got plenty of time.
Yeah.
All right, so really,
Or until you kick me out.
stay as long as you want. Have a couch bed. You welcome to show. Now listen, he came down and he fucking manned up. He let me beat him up. He deserves it now. He's earned his place. So you get to stay. Okay? You've done a great service to the community and you've tried to improve your training so you get much respect and I appreciate your helping us out. So
I
thank you very
appreciate
much.
you too. Thank you.
You did good. Okay? So we're talking about, and we can mention Harry, because Harry's like my friend. I love Harry. I love Harry to death. So Harry's from Richard Clear, and I always say this, Richard Clear, from all the people I've ever touched hands with, and ever seen anybody train, Richard Clear by far is the top of the food chain. Okay? And just by seeing my friend Harry improve, I would definitely recommend that he's the first person to go to. Now,
Well, when I was here last time, you told me to check out Richard Clear because I hadn't heard of him before. Well, I saw some of his stuff on YouTube, but I was like, I don't know. But then you mentioned to me, like, hey, you should check out this guy.
I'm going to tell you
like,
because I know his students, and the thing I get to most, I've seen his students improve. Right? And I also, I touched his hands, and there's levels that I can't explain to normal people, that when you touch somebody, you can read their experience. And by far is the highest level, like one of the top 5 people I've ever touched. You know what I'm saying? So that is by far the thing. Now, what I'm going to say is that there is one misunderstanding about my system of Tai Chi that I developed because I've stolen my system from so many different people, that there's much confusion about me using Li. And even Harry
Yes, he did. He said you're very Li.
Right.
Very Li.
The reason for this because as a default, I've created this fighting shell rebound pressure. So, and we were talking about before, when you put your pressure in contact, right? So at this point, what do you feel?
Well, it feels.
It feels like I'm pushing
Yes.
you. Okay?
So as I'm
as he
in,
pushes,
it's like you're pushing me back.
I'm not doing anything.
Right.
Okay? So once I go to start moving people, it starts to feel like I'm using all this Li. But that's only because I've created a frame that's very rare, that has a specific quality to it that nobody else has. Okay? That it's a collaboration of all of my teachers, okay, and everyone I've ever played with. So it's a theory and something that I programmed in that I first coming up thought was the default. And until I started really getting into the Tai Chi world, I didn't realize that wasn't the default.
Are you predominantly lefty?
No.
Because you automatically went to.
Because this is what most people start off with.
Well, usually I start on.
I mean, like most of the time when I go to push hands place, a lot of people who just with the left hand.
Oh wow.
And when I spar, I normally will spar, orthodox first, and I'll switch to southpaw. But it just. So I write predominantly my left hand because I broke this hand so many times. You can see the knuckle on this hand compared to this one, completely different.
Yeah.
So I write with this hand more, because my power is always my right side. See the thing? But the left hand's more accurate.
Yeah.
You see what I mean? So it's a weird thing. Like my left side is more accurate and more finessey, but my right side has more power. Right? But I could feel the techniques on both sides because I trained it to be balanced out like that. But this idea of what is Li is a great place to start. Because when people feel my power, they feel it as Li, right? And if we set up again, so this is just my default. I haven't moved yet, okay? And you can put both hands, put pressure, right? And really come, right? So you're gonna notice the more he comes at me, the more force you feel.
Yeah, definitely.
Right? Keep pushing. So the more he comes, the more he's gonna feel in return. There's nothing to do with what I'm doing. I haven't started yet. So now when Howard's come, I displace this angle. Now he feels all this rebound force being redirected on a bad line, the line is only off by about 1/4 of an inch. He doesn't know the line's off. See what I'm saying? So now you now you're shaking, you feel all tense, you jump like up. So now when I start to bring back this force, he feels it as Lee. Right? If it was real Lee, it feels completely different.
Yeah, yeah.
If you feel my shaking,
right?
Because I'm activating a type 1 fiber. So this is what I think we should start off with, because yesterday a guy going by the name of Elder in the Discord channel, I don't know what your guys' names are in real life or whatever, so let's go with that. And we were talking about the whole Adam Minzer issue and in the community in general about the use of words and how the words they don't always mean the same thing.
Well, there's a big disconnect between Chinese and English.
And also the culture. So the problem we're talking about is the use of tension and saying, I don't use tension, I don't use force. I understand what this guy's trying to say. I understand what he means. If I take away the language, I know what he's saying. I know why he's saying it. I know why you guys think it's bullshit. Because it's still tension, it's still force. Okay? That's the only way that, from a normal person uninitiated to these lingos and jargon, it's going to sound like bullshit. There's still force being used, okay? And it's a stretch reflex force, okay? Even when you see and it's just like one finger and they bounce, okay? It doesn't look like much. What's happening is that when I use tight muscles, flexion extension muscles, the body starts to shake. You can visibly see the shaking, right? This is a vibration. Everything is just vibration, sound waves, okay? So if I push you and resist, if I push you really hard, and I'm really going to push you and put you away so you don't go flying. I want you to see the build-up. You see how the feeling of shaking, and this is a different feeling.
Yeah.
Completely different feeling. Okay. What is happening is that you have, the way the body wants to move is through flexion, right? It wants to take one muscle and pull on the joint to create force. Okay, fine. The basic Tai Chi model is extension. And it's not extension through a flexion muscle, because even when I extend this arm, I'm extending it through a flexing or shortening of this fiber.
It's through the white tissue, is that?
No, the point is, in order to make my bones move, generally speaking, the only way to do it is to make a muscle shorter. If I want to close this, I make this muscle shorter. If I want to open it, I make this muscle shorter. This kind of tension, compression tension, like a closing up, is the lead they're talking about. Understand? Now there's a couple of issues. The way that this works is that there's a vibrational wave form. Okay? Think of a sine wave. It's doing this. The vibration is very wide and has a very deep valley in it. So there's a hole. And I want you to push as hard as you can. And I want you to hold, sustain the push. Hard, 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 hard. Okay, you see this? Keep it going.
Yeah.
I want you to watch that vibration. Keep going hard, 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 hard. You see the shaking?
Yeah.
Okay. If I use type 2A and stretch, what's happening is that muscle fiber is vibrating at a higher frequency. So the valley, the rarefaction point, the empty vacuum space, is a much shorter time. So if I'm vibrating like this, and you're vibrating like this, but the wave amplitude are equal, meaning the peak energy production is equal, right? I'm going to cut into your wave. Because every time you have the rarefaction point, I'm skipping in, skipping in, skipping in. So keep going.
Because this is a big one and yours is a shorter one.
Right. So every time your muscle goes into the rarefaction state,
you're already
I'm going one more step in, one more step in, one more step in. This is happening in milliseconds.
Yeah.
Right? But if you're able to slow this down, really slow it down, this is what the real issue is. Okay? And the way that I'm getting that is by using expanding stretch. Right? So we have the type 2A fiber, which is the highest frequency, but then we have this stretching and decompressing of the system. Right? That allows, because all of our muscles are constantly ringing. Our nervous system is always firing. I go back to tonic and phasic muscle. Okay, phasic muscles are your big on-off muscles, right? Muscles that do that shaking, muscles that do flexion extension. We're talking about postural muscles. You don't feel them. Do you feel yourself standing?
No.
Okay.
Yeah.
But that means it's still working.
Mm-hmm.
Because a parasympathetic issue doesn't mean it's not doing something. You just don't feel it.
Right.
That's why I say you cannot control the fascia. Not consciously. There's ways around it. But when they say I'm going to do it, doesn't work like that. You don't feel it. You're not supposed to feel it. If you feel it, something's wrong.
Yeah.
That means you're sick. If your body's in proper state, you don't feel anything. See what I mean? But these muscles are still firing. The fire rate of that wave is so high frequency, there's almost no valley.
Yeah. So it's almost like a straight line.
Right. And I don't probably, but you can see like, when you do like the very tip, I'm just going to use the touch of my fingertips, right? I'm not pushing, I'm just gently stretching through. But because he starts to resist, my fine wave is cutting that rarefaction point. So you have this big ass wave, compression, rarefaction, right? If the amplitude of my innervation, my nervous signal, the firing power, right? The battery pack is firing at the same amplitude as the wave I'm dealing with. We're gonna, the power level is equal, right? My structure is dealing with the vibration of you. I can get really detailed, but this day, for basic understanding, I'm just cutting in to your blink. Your muscles blinking, and my muscles like having a connection to this very little time. Or you can just think of it like I'm gonna hold my eyes open like this. You can think of it like that also, right? If it makes it easy to understand. But the whole secret to all this is waveform. Everything is sound. So part of my minor in school was acoustic physics. That's why I understand this stuff, right? So I relate everything to some kind of thing I can relate to Western science.
Well, how does the practitioner then get to the point where they can straighten out that wave?
So this is when they say you have to wash your body of Li. This is the problem because they're not understanding from the Western science and Western cultural perspective what that means, right? Mm-hmm. So then people think it means, oh, I can't use any muscle and I can't be it, and they start to, and they see people who are doing the hell of a devil, and it looks to them like I'm so soft. Because you look at my hands right now, I'm so soft. Mm-hmm. How does that feel to you? It doesn't feel soft. Okay, it doesn't feel soft at all. It looks like bullshit. Mm-hmm. Okay, grab my wrist. Okay, so when he connects to me, I'm going to connect to his fascia and talk to his fascia. Okay? I'm going to talk to his fascia now. It's bullshit! It's not bullshit, it's just that the metaphors they're using, it's not wrong, but it's not scientific and it's not fact. Okay? And it's misleading people, and they're not doing it on purpose, they're just trying to translate an understanding, right? It's very difficult to put into words because there's no science yet. See what I mean? So when the Adaminter guy is saying, wash your body of Li, he's repeating what his teacher told him to get in the result, right? Mm-hmm. But you need to remember that it's purposely occluded. It's occult knowledge, means hidden on purpose. They don't want you to know.
Well, I mean, as a person who has dabbled in with that course, am I right?
Oh, that's right.
Yes. It's very cultish. So it's like, you're in the group and it's like if you almost have a question and you want it like, oh, this doesn't, can you explain this more, blah, blah, blah. The answer is follow the system.
And
it's like you don't get an answer. It's just.
Well, there's a couple of reasons for that. First one is, that's how it was taught. Just shut up and follow the system. If you don't get
Yes, that's it. It's basically like, just shut up and do what I
tell
tell
you.
you.
Do it you're doing. If you don't have to understand it, just know that if you do it like this, it's going to work.
Yeah.
Doesn't mean you have to be able to articulate it. Okay? The other is they don't fucking know. They don't know why it works. They just know it works.
Yeah.
Like there's some of the cheese stuff that, I showed you a little bit. Like, how do I explain that I showed you before?
It's hard to. Yeah, it's hard to.
If I showed that on the camera, then it's going to cause an uproar.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? Like, they don't want to hear it. They don't want to hear it. And there's things I've seen other masters do that I can do, on some levels that I'm not going to talk about on YouTube because they're not going to get it. Okay? They're going to think it's bullshit. And they already think that they think I'm somebody who has credentials, Okay, it's not like I'm some random dude, okay? I was a boxing coach in a professional boxing gym. I was a fitness instructor, a martial instructor in the highest level of the freaking top fitness company in the world. And people are still saying, these are fighters, idiots! They're saying, oh, that doesn't exist, If I start talking about Qigong and like all this other like secret shit, forget it! Forget it! So we have too many problems. But I think we should go as like, you know,
Where did your...
It's not going to come from someone says something.
Oh, okay.
So it'll come up when someone starts yapping. It's even here. Already got 6 people. What's up, guys? So a lot of this stuff is nonsense to these people. And in order for me to initiate, I'm going to have to do it very slowly in drops. Okay? Because I'm hitting the bag in a professional gym in Midtown Manhattan. And guys are saying that the bag is light. And I took stuff out of the bag. Yes, I'm sitting there with my ID on, my trainer ID, my stopwatch, in a company, a multi-billion-dollar company, and I got stopped in front of everybody to unload the bag and put fucking beans in it. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's a 75-pound standard TKO bag. The other one's 150 pounds. It's standard shit. What do you want me to do? Okay? There's literally a 280-pound cop that I'm demoing with. His bag is on his fucking hip. Okay? Oh, that's not real either. You're dealing with delinquent idiots. Okay?
Yeah.
Then this other guy saying that the karate that I do isn't real. So you're saying Chuck Norris is fake also because my style came before him. Chuck Norris' system is based on top of my system. His grandmaster learned from my grandmaster. This is historical fact. Okay? Paulie, what's up, buddy? How you doing? So, like, these are historical facts, okay? Mm-hmm. I'm by far not the best fighter. I've never been a fighter guy, okay? I got my thing, you know? So I'm not trying to go out, but the point is, like, guys, like, come on, man. Like, there's a point where you've gone so far into your diluted nonsense of trying to prove everybody wrong to feed your narcissistic ego. Anytime I've ever called anybody out here is to help them. And I always say, listen, bro, that's gonna get you hurt, let me help you. Okay? The only time that really pissed me off is the Ramsey Dewey thing because he's hurting everybody. Yeah. I gotta turn that off. I keep forgetting to do that. 1 second, guys. I always forget to do this. I streamed, you know, on the regular stream for so many years. Like this phone shit is just weird to me. What am I supposed to do? You know what I mean? It's getting to a point where it's so toxic. And here's the real issue: that good people they've gotten this idea that in order for you to be good, you're never allowed to be angry. Good people don't get angry. What the fuck are you talking about? What, you know, it's like without righteous anger, evil does whatever it wants. You guys gotta start standing up for yourself. You don't have to be mean, you don't have to be rude, you don't have to, you know, be vulgar. But you have to stand up for yourself. You gotta start saying something, okay? Like, just like anything. You don't have to be mean, you don't have to be like the tough Brooklyn dude and encourage people out, but god damn.
Even what you just said there, as far as like aggression or putting forth like some physical power, it's by saying not doing that, it doesn't even flow with the yin yang symbol because it's the yin yang symbol itself is opposites. And, so you can't have one without the other. And the closed door yang style, there's Leo. There's hard style. They're hiding it from you. Mm-hmm. They don't want you to know it exists. Okay? And let's just go into like this, okay? You look at the Shaolin and the Wudang Mountain styles, okay? Then you look at Chen style, which is the first opened system outside of that realm. Mm-hmm. That's not hard. There's no Li. So I want to know this. Yang style was stolen from Chen. Yes. What is it? Yang Lu Chen? Yang Lu Chen's first form. How did it look? Okay? It looked pretty Li to me. Oh, sure, yeah. It looked pretty Li to me. Well, because he had to learn a Chen form. Yeah. Right.
Most of the time in the Yang family, how that, you know, from what I've gathered, is they hide the Li for the moment of impact. And the same way I learned the karate. So I'll hit you here, and then I hit you. And the Li is an insert that's happening in a millisecond. So you can't catch my force, right? I don't use the Li, all this flexion power. I use that as gunpowder at the end, okay?
So the connection point is the contact and the strike is after the fact.
Right.
Yeah.
So in the Tai Chi, the way I practice it is that, most of the strikes, I touch you, then I hit you.
Yeah. That makes sense.
Right? I make contact and then I inject the
Well,
force.
it's almost like if you were even going to a tournament and you were playing fixed step push, you're not allowed to strike. You have to touch first, then,
Right.
which makes it follow through.
Right.
A legal move, basically, almost. Right.
Right, and that's because I've played some very, very good people, and that because the thing is I never stuck to one rule set because my goal was never to become a competitor.
Mm-hmm.
I wanted to increase my survivability, and I wanted to get the study and piece back together what the hell is Tai Chi's fighting mechanics. Mm-hmm. Just for the sake of historical reference, I want to understand it. Because for me, once I understood the hollow fist punch, I was done. I could already break a brick. No bullshit. Okay? Like, I could already hit so hard that no human being can sustain the damage I'm going to give to them. Mm-hmm. Okay? And it's not like I'm making it up. There's video of me hitting things. Okay? It's not like I'm talking shit. Okay? I don't need it. So why am I doing it? Because it's interesting.
So for the video, right, as far as what we were talking about earlier, as far as Lee, and we were talking about structure and having a good root, a good structure, and when the person connects to you and gives has any kind of tension, that's when it feels like you're pushing back because your structure is so good.
Yes, but it's not any tension. Okay? Because I'm going to say this again. The Adam Minzer demo that the guy Elder on my channel showed me yesterday, Adam Minzer was using the exact same energy model that I'm using. Okay, you put pressure on my hands, and you put pressure on me, right? We're using the same energy model. Okay, I'm going to show it so you can see the move. Okay, but reality, all I'm doing is opening my joints and stretching.
This goes back, maybe going back to the question, what you were talking about in your one video, when you were talking about
yes,
this,
yes,
right?
That's the first time I ever felt it.
Yeah.
If you're grabbing really hard, and then I just stretch towards you.
Right, yeah.
There's a slingshot. Mm-hmm. You felt that, right?
Yes, yeah.
It's a slingshot effect. Just like you have to grab for you feel the tension. You see the skin stretch?
Yep.
That's the first time I've ever felt myself. This is like 20 years ago.
But the great thing that, for the video back when Damien said that, it should have actually been like a light bulb go off for anyone watching, because understanding this, even just connecting here, when you're able to connect to my tissue, I'm just...
Right. See, I can do it from either side.
Yeah.
Okay? So I can do it from the top also. So here. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
So this is a combination of things which makes it so complicated. Mm-hmm. Okay, first is that the bone marrow is piezoelectronic, it's compression. So the bone marrow is fluid, and you also have the synovial fluid between the bone marrow, so you have this lubrication. So if I create this expanded, right, open every joint 1 millimeter, right, and then I stretch, I have 1, a spring, and then 2, a bow that are working in unison. So I have a spring system for my bone marrow being squishy on the synovial fluid in the bone marrow, and then I have this tight tendons that are stretched out. So you have a rubber band you're stepping on, and you have a spring you're stepping on.
Yeah.
At the same time. At the same time, guys. So if he grabs me, he loaded my joints, but I don't let him compress me. See, he can load me up if I'm compressed and my joints.
If I'm going,
because the space in my joints have collided. The spring is so, it's like a gun spring. Mm-hmm. If it's so cramped, it doesn't want to unspring. So there's nowhere for it to go.
Yeah.
If I change the angle, the spring will pop because it has a way to release. Mm-hmm. Does that make any sense? Hey, and then
so you're gonna use spiral.
Well, I can do it without spiraling if I have to, for instance. So here I'm just gonna open everything at once. Mm-hmm. Right? Well, just my back. That's just the vertebrae in my back. Watch my elbows, nothing's gonna move. So you have me compress my vertebrae, and I'm gonna open up from the top. Any type of decompression of my joints when the stretch reflex is active will create that response. Mm-hmm. There's no talking to fascia, all this bullshit. Now, are they wrong? No, because the way that this is taught, the only way to get parasympathetic systems to activate is through visualization, self-hypnosis. So by saying...
so the self-hypnosis, is this the same thing where when a master has his students and you see them just responding?
No. No.
Okay.
No. This is not like, that's a whole other thing with these fake guys.
Okay.
I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about through visualization, creating a response in the nervous system. Because we're living in this little black bag. We never see reality. The brain is hell of color. It doesn't know outside. This is why if you watch a movie, your emotional responses can be triggered. Right? People watch porn. Why? Because their subconscious doesn't understand the difference between real and fake. It's going to go through the same systems. You're still going to get a fucking hard on.
Right.
Right? Mm-hmm. Okay. Knowing this, if I start to think, put your hand out. Now, don't let me bend your arm, okay? Don't let me bend your arm. Okay? Now I want you to do the same thing. Okay? Do the same thing, but here I want you to do is I want you to imagine there's a hose of water, and the water's shooting out. It's a freaking fire hose, and it's as hard as you can. Okay? Push it all the way through. Let the water shoot out. I want you to visualize. Imagine yourself seeing the water coming out. Right? Really push down. Do you feel the difference? Mm-hmm. Visualization leads to actualization.
So when you're doing your poem, you're also visualizing this flow through and
yes.
Charging right at
right.
the
So while people think my Li is a very strong, intent-focused G from Yi. Mm-hmm. Right? They think that's what they think is Li. So if I just do like the position of wood off, okay? Now I'm going to fill up the ball. Make sure that right. But now I'm going to put my intent on you. You feel?
Yeah. Now you're.
All I did was put my mind on you.
And the flow.
I didn't change anything.
Okay.
All I did was put my mind on you. And now my body is imagining this thing. It creates the response.
Okay.
This is not
so
real.
It's visual. You have to. It's all
right.
visualization first for your body to.
So in order to be able to control parasympathetic responses, you need visualization because you have no conscious cue. Mm-hmm. There's no way to elicit a response. You can't do it.
So basically, as soon as you do that, your mind is telling your body, you're going to affect the person right now. Boom.
It's okay. So what I'm really thinking is, I just put my awareness on you and put my intent to connect into your spine. But because of so many years of training, my focus, I'm talking about power breaking, my focus is so intense. It's so intense.
But your body just like knows.
Right.
It's like,
right.
Like a missile.
It's like a missile, and you feel it. You feel it. It's like automatic. It's like you're feeling a shift.
Right. Yeah.
And it's an energetic shift, and something happened.
Mm-hmm.
It's just that my Yi is so focused that when I put it on somebody, they feel it as Li.
Now, for those watching that don't understand the lingo, so E is your mind's intent.
Right. And the Li is what they call muscular strength. Mm-hmm. Okay? And it should be classified as flexion. Right? As flexion through type 1 fiber primarily. Okay? Because they're without this understanding, a lot of this gets lost and sounds like bullshit. Right? Because most people don't understand they have 3 different muscle fibers. Most people don't understand that in just this area you have 3 different types of muscles with 3 different gear systems in the car. Mm-hmm. There's type 1, type 2, type 2A, there's even a type 3 now. Okay? Then you have your postural, which is tonic, always on, that you do not have control over. The first premise of Tai Chi is to take your postural muscles and pre-birth power, your natural abilities, and use them first, and try to get the other systems out of the way. And then when you have this down, now you put the Li on top of it. Don't rid yourself of Li. Put the Li in its place and use it when you need to. Because otherwise you're double light.
Yeah, you're too soft.
You're too soft.
Yeah.
Because another thing about sung, and again, using these words, what does that actually mean? Oh, it means to release and relax. If that's the case and you do this, and sung to me is this.
Yeah, it's like, yeah.
That's not sung. Sung is decompression. Sung is decompression and routing to the earth. Taking all of your extra vibrational shit and letting it get grounded out. Okay, it's not just me collapsing or being soft. Because that's useless. Right. How are you going to do anything with that? So then, like, here, put this on. So I'm going to do a downside pipe with Li, okay? I'm going to hit the okay? So I'm going to do it with Li. Okay? And I'm striking hard, right? Now I'm going to do it with sung. You feel a major difference.
Yeah,
Okay?
for sure.
That type of song is not this.
Yeah, like wet noodle.
No. No. Okay? They should immediately be like, I do not want any of that.
No, I don't want to get hit with that.
I want none of that. Okay? That's the Tai Chi boxing.
Yeah.
Right? The loose fist. So when you're thinking about like these ward off, right? You can do the ward off as hard long fist, or you can do the ward off. You feel the difference?
Yeah, definitely.
That's some. Okay? So the loose boxing, I'm gonna come in, I'm gonna break this and break this. On contact, you feel I'm just tapping you now, I'm not giving you any power.
Yeah.
But how's that feel?
Yeah, the bone hurt right
It
now.
hurts. And I'm barely touching you. If I go full power with the Tai Chi boxing style, I'm gonna break your fucking hand off your body.
Right.
And I know this for a fact that I've let people on the street with their home like this. Okay? So I'm telling you I know this shit works because I hit people with this and it does not look good. Okay? Nothing good happens to people. So there's a different methodology. Now Richard Clear has this in his system. But he has a lineage where they teach a certain variation. I had to get this from how Larry Chan did it. I stole it from everyone and reverse engineered it.
It's interesting you should say that because in doing a little history on it, like you said, Yongwu Chen basically just was watching them doing the real Tai Chi because they were teaching him just like, here, let me show you a little bit of something. And he was like,
what is this bullshit?
What is this, right? So he kind of spied on him and was like, oh, okay.
I went on a mission because I was already a black belt, I was already a successful trainer. I was always, you know what I mean? 20 years ago. And I'm like, oh, hell no. It was just in my soul, like I had to do this. I'm like, if he can do it, so can I. Because I'm already, I was like second down or something like that. In like this super rare old school martial art, I've already been teaching, doing all, like, if he can do it, I can do it. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And then I heard the whole Invincible Yang legend. I'm like, I can do that too. I'm gonna go find out. And I went and I did it. For real. Okay? I'm the guy. I'm the legend now. Okay? I've proven the legend. And there's several hundred people who've seen me do it. So it's not like I'm this like random dude talking shit. Okay? Anybody in the Tai Chi community who knows people is gonna say they know me. And they
So how do we, as those that are viewing and wanting to learn, right? How can they take that step and like?
First things first, you have to.
Because you kind of had to go on a pilgrimage, kind of to.
I went on
get this.
the mission.
Yeah.
Okay, and I also had the lifestyle. I guess people will consider me lucky. But my life was so crazy and backwards and fucked up to anybody's standards. Like, the fact that I had no parents. Like, I was raised like a wolf. Like, I had parents, but they didn't treat me like parents. You understand?
Mm-hmm.
Like, 12 years old, I was out in the street with gangs till 4 in the morning. Okay? Like, no bullshit. Like, I wasn't like one of you kids, like my parents were tucking me in at night.
Well, that was my parents.
But you're lucky.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I would trade places with you for a second. But at the same time, like, all this idea of me having that freedom and being forced to grow up in the world, and the world raising me allowed me to go and do things that normal people would never be able to do.
Well, like, even with that, like you said, with Adam, for example, when you talk, watch some of his videos, he talks about his journey too. He said he had to go, like, live in caves and stuff.
I believe it. I did the renegade monk in the concrete jungle route.
Yeah.
That's the path of my guides that put me on that path. And that's why I say about I don't know the guy, you know what I'm saying? But there's an honor system that somebody has to step up and tell people to shut the fuck up. And it bothers me that none of his students have done it yet. That I don't even know this fucking guy. I have no reason to defend him. But you gotta see that when someone puts that much effort into training and they're doing something that even remotely helps people, and they're constantly being fucked with, you don't say anything, and you're his students? It's disgusting. It's a fucking disgrace.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And that's just how I feel about it. Now, again, I don't know the guy. You know what I'm saying? And that's why I always say, like, I keep hearing shit, and people keep bringing it to me. Like, I'm supposed to fucking, I don't know what to do with it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I know people who went and played with him. Like, they said that it's legit, but nobody said that it felt like it was some fake chi shit. He said he was using structure and muscle, right? But these are also high level guys, right?
Yeah.
I went to see him. You know what I mean? So that's what it's supposed to feel like. It's not wrong. It's supposed to feel like there's some kind of force there.
Well, the other interesting thing too, like, I've never met him, but just from what I know about him and knowing about you, you're on the opposite ends of the spectrum, which means you would be willing to be like, all right, come on, Adam, let's push right now so I can test and see.
Not exactly.
He's on the side where it's
okay,
like,
hold on. Okay. That's what it appears on YouTube, right? Because people see snapshots. We're actually very, very similar, him and I, okay? There's cultural differences, but in the end of the day, people who know me from the communities, they don't think of me like that, right? It's just that people see the snapshot because this is what's needed right now. Mm-hmm. They need warriors now. We need warriors and gardeners, like gardeners in wars, and we have too many gardeners in wars right now. That's the problem, and nobody's, so somebody has to say like, bro, you have to stop. And if no one else is going to do it, then I'm going to have to do it because I'll literally die out here if you keep fucking with my name. You guys look like shit. You're fake as shit. You're going around talking like you're the authorities on what's real and what's not, and your technique is garbage. It's fucking garbage. And because YouTube has not been playing fair, okay, and this is not conspiracy theory bullshit. I have evidence that will put people in jail for what they did to me here, okay? It's not conspiracy theory bullshit. Everybody's a conspiracy. Come on, man. I think we're past this point of cancel culture and anything being a conspiracy. Right? We're past this game already. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, cancer culture is real.
I mean, come on. I think we're past the point of this already. Like, stop making believe it doesn't exist. Right? Anybody has any questions, make sure you pop them up because we're here to answer questions and do demos and stuff. So I think I really addressed that whole of the lead issue, right? Because, I've had this, and I'm talking about like world champion players would say the same thing, and they think I'm here saying late, all right? And then I'll play them for a couple of minutes, and then I let them get used to this power, and they feel like I'm doing something. Mm-hmm. And then when they
then you really
then I hit them.
Yeah.
Then I get them, and they go, oh shit, because they don't expect it, because I don't let them, because that's what Tai Chi is supposed to be. You should not feel my power until I let you feel my power. Mm-hmm. All right? And the idea of stealing force, as soon as you touch me, this is your force already. You feel it, right? You automatically feel that rebound, right? Look up. See, look how I'm not doing anything. This is just by standing pile power. Okay? And just be standing up and you're hitting the springs and the bow and arrow. So obviously, anytime you put pressure to me, you're gonna feel.
Yeah, it's a rebound.
It's a rebound force. So I'm not doing anything.
Yeah, you're
the only thing I'm doing is I'm aligning my hinges. I'm creating enough external tension to keep the structure, but without locking my joint. So if you put pressure, you can see my shoulder is not locked. There's structure to it, but if you put pressure, I can still. Mm-hmm. See what I'm saying? Yeah, I can still move this anywhere I want and still maintain the structure and still maintain pressure.
You know the interesting thing about the feeling of what you're doing there is normally, like if you were to touch someone that doesn't have a lot of pome, you're not, the touching, I'm not having much, getting you as much of a line, but as soon as you turn on this yi toward me, it immediately makes me tense.
Yes. Yes. And that's the talking to the fascia thing.
Yeah.
So as soon as you touch me,
because I would consider myself, okay, I have some song when I'm touching.
You definitely got better.
But when I'm touching and you turn it on, it's almost like, oh, there goes my song. It's like, it's gone.
Because what's happening is this, my carrier wave, my postural muscle frequency is, it's always ringing.
Yeah, it's like zipping.
Right, we're always on. Mm-hmm. You're on also. But the thing is,
but yours is faster and higher.
It's faster and higher, but it's also that where my mind goes, that wave wants to go. Mm-hmm. See what I'm saying? So as soon as I go near my target, see if I'm going to look over here for pressure, I'm going to keep my awareness off you. This is just my structure. There's no pung right now. Mm-hmm. It's just structure. You're rebounding. If I put pung, you're going to feel uprooted. See? You feel like you want to go up now.
Yeah.
If I put on, you feel like you want to go down. Right? I'm just going to stand here. Once right? So now you feel this. Once I look at you, okay? you feel?
Yeah, yeah.
Because my body wants all these systems to go where my eyes and my intent go, which is why they say in the classics, the power has to be past your fingertips and your eyes looking into infinity. Right? Notice that when I'm playing with you, I'm purposely putting my focus here.
Yeah.
Right? So I'm stopping my focus on your chest or at the edge. Because if I go behind you, I'm just going to keep crunching through you.
Okay.
And because you have this wave like this, and my wave is like this, it's like skipping a rock in a pond.
Well, what can someone, or what can they practice to speed up that wave?
It's washing your body of Li. But what it literally means is washing your body of hypertonic phasic muscle. I'm going to say this again. The proper thing, what I believe that Adam Minzer was saying, with this guy Elder sent me his video yesterday, is when he's saying wash your body of Li, what they're meaning from a Western science perspective is to remove hypertonic activity from tonic muscle, from phasic muscle. You're trying to remove the hypertonic activity from a phasic muscle, okay? Being in an on-contracted state when it's not supposed to be, right? You have these other muscles that should not be doing anything at the time. They shouldn't be vibrating.
But you want them to.
I want them off. I want all of the, put your hand here and push down. I want, you feel that?
Mm-hmm.
That's a phasic muscle,
Yeah.
okay? Most people are chronically cramping or twitching or holding tension in these type of muscle fibers, right? These muscles have a very slow waveform. So that is the tension and Li we're grabbing onto. If there's no tension in the system, the body would collapse. There has to be tension. There has to be force.
The whole structure.
Even if we're doing no-touch magic fa jing bullshit, there's still a force. And that stuff is real. It's very rare, but it's real. 90% of people doing it are fucking bullshit. It's very rare and it's real. But even that's a force, and even there is structure. Okay? It's not this like ambiguous nothingness. Okay? It's a thing that can be named. It's not the fucking Tao guys. Okay? It's not, it's just this science that has not been put into its category yet. And people just don't understand it. Right? So we'll just grab whatever. Okay, fine. So I'm going to talk to his fascia. Okay? Yes, in my mind, the system that I've developed, right, is from reading the classics, is I'm going to connect to his bone marrow and sinews. And now I put my mind into his structure, and now I'm going to decide, okay, well, here's a hole here, I'll put my mind there, okay? You know, I want to push him this way, I want to drag him around this way, okay? Mm-hmm. Now, there's a lot of different ways you can do that, right? Like, you see what I'm saying? And I'm going to put it right to his back, now put it behind his back. Okay, you know what I'm saying? Like, there's all these little stupid little tricks. Okay? Like, I'm trying to show you like a slow enough you guys can see these demos these guys are doing. And I do it like, you know, you're not going to see much because all I'm doing is stretching it. See what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. I gotta be sure I'm putting my teeth. So it's hard for me to show you this on the camera without making big moves because you're not going to see anything, it just looks like I open my fingers. Okay? Even if on the... Does that make sense? Mm-hmm. All this comes down to is dealing with vibrational waveform. Because this one, because the sun's coming up. And we're going to get superheated in a second. Was that sounding clear? I think it makes sense?
Mm-hmm. But, so when you say wash the body of Li...
I'm just repeating what I saw in the video.
Right. So
this is
what would be the like our normal, like, okay, this is the, what we need to do is like Western verbiage of, so, let's say, not wash the body of Li, but something...
So I would consider it reciprocal inhibition. Is that you got to trick these muscles to go off. Are you just stretching and turning your center as he moves? It depends on the example. It depends on what we're trying to do. I'm just trying to mimic one of the demos they sent me yesterday. Okay, it depends what you're trying to do. For instance, for pressure, double heavy. Okay, fine. So now I loaded his pressure. If I want to turn him this way, I can drop force on the right side and open the left. Okay? I can hold both positions and turn my hip. Okay? There's different power generators. So I'm going to do it again. He's double heavy, 100-100. If I make 1-0, so I have 50-50. If I make 1-0, say I make this side 0 and this 100, we have that rotation. I can also leave these both at 50-50 and turn my hip. So both of these methods work. And they're both viable, right? If I'm not using knee. So the way I can generate the hip power is I can push the hip, or I can release one to go up. So here, even though I'm turning my hip as a propellant, I'm doing it through a relaxation or an opening of this joint. So I explained that in the other video. I'm turning this off, which is causing a rotation. Okay? Is that a good answer? Does that make sense?
So basically, if my hand is on this hip, you're just releasing that hip.
I'm just releasing it because you're not using me for your balance. That's what catching force is. You put pressure, you catch the force, and open the joint. Right? Really, okay? I know it looks like bullshit.
Did that answer?
I hope so. Do that one again so make sure you can see. So you're putting pressure 50-50. I'll just do a 50-50 stance. Okay?
Bring your arms down, you're too tall.
Okay, so, alright, so here we go, right? Okay, go the other way. So now I'm not using the hands, I'm not turning from muscle, he's loaded, and I unload him. Make sense? So how does that translate to the camera for you? Because you're the test dummy. What do you feel from that? And my back is wrecked. Then I have the chair thing. The chair example, what's happening here is the ischial tuberosity, the sit bones. I connect to the chair. Now that's my root. I've now become the chair. So you're going to push. And I do the same energy bullshit, same shit. Okay? All the same nonsense. Here we go. Okay? It's all the same shit. It'll work, my back is really wrecked. So I don't know if I can do this on the wheels right now. But as long as I can maintain vertical pressure on the wheels, I should be okay. Okay? It's magic. It's magical. But it's not bullshit. It's a physics trick. Okay? So it's literally, I've connected my sit bones into the surface of the chair. So now the chair is my legs. The chair is my legs. See? So as long as I can contain this pressure system, this circuit I created, my feet don't matter. Okay? Okay? I have the shoulder in some kind of way. They're not going to see if I just...
Yeah.
Right? If I don't move my arms, guys, you're not going to see anything.
There was your slingshot again. I felt this. And, yeah.
And because I've trained this Fajin for combat power, it'll feel like Lee to most people that don't practice to hurt people. Okay?
Now, just so they know, I feel a lot of pressure in the upper back here when you're doing that.
Right. So
it just jolts.
You okay?
Yeah.
Yeah. So what's happening?
So also, now, Tai Chi is you mentioned in your videos, the Chinese are tricky bastards.
Yes.
Okay.
Very tricky bastards.
In understanding Tai Chi as like a tricky bastard art, you want to come in to go back. Which is the bring in to shoot out. Right?
And this idea that they're saying that all the students are trained to jump and this and that. I'm sure that there are students trained to jump. I've only seen you twice. You're not even my student. I barely know you. I mean, you know what I'm saying? We're friends now, but I don't fucking know this guy like that. He did me a favor and drove fucking how many hours from a different state to do this demo for you fucking guys. You better appreciate it. Okay? I don't know him. I've been calling him 3 times.
Yeah, 3 times.
You know what I mean? Every time I've met him, it's been on a video. So you guys literally have seen our relationship develop. Okay? There are people who are trying to fake it because if it wasn't a genuine article, why are they trying to fake? What are they faking? There must be some genuine article somewhere they're trying to fake.
Right.
Did you know that even unicorns are real?
Well, I had this conversation with another person. It's like everything that you can imagine in your mind had to come from somewhere.
So in the Bible, right, they say that there's unicorns, right? There actually are unicorns. They're called Rhinoceros unicornis. A fucking rhinoceros is a unicorn. It's a single fucking horn on its face. Look it up. Okay? So there's genuine good articles that come around, and then people start to twist them around.
Right.
There had to be something.
Makes a lot of sense.
There had to be something.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? So all this magic chi shit's not magic. These are elastic collisions and also all weird stuff. So there's other ways I can do this with that. So let's just say, how I like to do the most, this is part of my internal method, is you feel this contact point. Now I'm going to allow him to load up, and then I'll create this Tai Chi symbol inside the contact point. Now I'm going to make one side. Did you feel that?
Mm-hmm.
So what I've done is in my mind, the Tai Chi symbol is in his palm on the contact point and split it 50-50. Now I can make 100 0. Okay? I can make 100 0. I make 100 0. I make 100 0. See what I'm going on? So I'm putting the Tai Chi symbol in the space and creating a yin and yang vortex inside of here with compression variation. Okay? So right now I'm going to unload and load, and you're going to go this way. Making sense?
Mm-hmm.
I can go this way and I'll break your hand. You can feel it. I'll break your hand at this point.
Yeah.
Okay? So instead of that, I'm going to put it through here instead. Okay? So one of the sealing breaking methods is to do this yin-yang thing and just crack your fucking head.
Yeah.
Okay? Or if you're putting pressure here, I just trap and break your head. Or break your head.
I could see that working.
Okay?
For sure, yeah.
It works. And
Yeah.
I've had to use it many times. I'm a pretty big dude, but when you're working in drunk, like crazy parties and people doing stupid shit, sometimes the motherfucker has his hand broken.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Because they get that, what's like an alcoholic, like, whoa.
What's that?
I mean,
It's
a drunk.
I don't
power.
know because I don't have time when I'm working in the field to be playing fucking games or not.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? I purposely make myself not. You see me in real life. I'm very quiet and humble. People think I'm the nice guy in the world. So when they first see me, they don't expect the level of violence I'm going to bring it to, and I have no choice. But now I have to think about my team, guys around me. There's all kinds of shit going on. There's legal stuff. I don't have time to be playing games. I'm not going to wait for you to pull out a knife or come back. No, you're leaving and going to the hospital. Okay?
No choice, yeah.
That's
You broke your hand, you're going to the hospital.
right. So like you go to grab, I'm not going to take the grab. I'm going to break a hand. Okay? I'm going to just break it. So when you were using your forearm, you just change the pressure just like when you were touching. Exactly. My whole body is the palm. So if you put pressure on my chest, right? Now I swung and release. Now I create the yin yang in here. I'll do the same thing. Release one, open the other. Okay, come. Release one, open the other. Back. Oh.
Okay.
No, I'm still training it out. I got one more piece, and it's just it's not doing good. Every time it rains, I feel like shit. Oh gosh. Okay. Okay. I can release it the other way. Okay. So I'm just making it so you can see it. Okay. Lift it up and hung, dropping it on. I don't know if we can take that. You can feel that pressure in the wrist, right?
Mm-hmm.
So all I have to do is here. Break.
Yeah, just now felt, yeah.
Yeah, I'll snap it right off. So the other way going. Okay. But it's literally all it is. It's all just creating this pressure system. Once you learn from the contact point of a wrist and arm and palm to do this work, and you're doing it in the form. So, and this is my style. Again, I believe very highly in maintaining handsets because the handsets are the boxing style. Everybody's entitled to their own method. In the Edmonds lineage, that's what the methodology works for them. Okay? This is my methodology. This is what I do. Okay? You may think it's Lee. I don't care. I'm thinking, how did the Emperor's bodyguard train? That's what I want to know. That's what I was searching for. I went to the Chinese Black Dragon, the Chin Wu guy. Literally, I learned the Law Fist. Literally. Okay? I went everywhere looking for this shit. How did they train the Emperor's bodyguard? How would they do it? Right? Now, I may not get the exact technique, but I can at least understand the principle and the frame and the feeling.
Mm-hmm.
Right? So if I'm doing the form, this comes with me. It's a different feeling, okay? And these sets, like they come to push or something. Okay? These hand sets are important. Okay? Come again. Okay? These handsets are an actual fighting system. Like, rollback is a fighting system. Hey, come again. Press! Okay? Double hand push. Seal, and then push is crack. I'm gonna crack your fucking ribs. Okay? I'm not gonna just push you. There's very specific elements. I want to hurt you on contact.
You
Go
don't
down.
want him to come back again.
No.
Yeah.
The only time I'm going to push you out is to throw you into something. So just curious, when you train Wing Chun, did you use the same sort of energy? Yes. Because my Wing Chun training. You want to go outside, buddy? You have to go today? He's not feeling great today. So my Wing Chun training is not official. Okay, I just played Wing Chun with several people. I did the Selling Tao for like a couple of weeks just to get the idea. But all I care about was the principle because my karate style, when you isolate the handset, has almost all the techniques. Okay? So we have a punch here, a punch here, a punch here. So we have a vertical punch, we have a horizontal punch. We have knife, 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 backhand, ridge hand, backhand. It's almost the same. It's almost the same. We have a lot of the same moves, right? So what was that? Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Like, there's like 12. Remember, I broke it down. So they're almost the same hands. If you look at it, right? Stances are different, but there's so many similarities when you just remove the theories and look at just the primal geometry. The ending was slightly different because one guy that was showing me, we just did this very slow meditation and we just sat there literally with some incense burning, trying to like go as slow as the incense burning. It's fucking insane. Okay? So we're just reaching for half an hour. It was just like
that you gain strength from doing that. Though.
No, but it gives you interoception, like it's a different awareness of your body that I learned from that. But I didn't learn Wing Chun as a system, I learned Wing Chun as a theory set. If that makes sense. More like, because I was like in the 1990s, I was still researching.
Were you on this, did you research that while you were trying to research the Tai Chi path, or they were separate?
I started Wing Chun first.
Okay.
Because I was probably red belt, and I was reading Bruce Lee's books. So I started going through the books, and then a couple people I met, friends that were doing it in the park, and I would spar and play with them, and they showed me things here and there. So I gathered my Wing Chun from years of just playing with people, and people giving me techniques and showing me this thing and that thing. But I went through that PG with him once. I never did it again. I didn't need it. You know what I mean? What I wanted from it was the concept, entries and and then it's the same thing I was taught karate. Like from a conceptual standpoint, the way we approach the entry and exit and application of techniques is different, but the understanding is very similar. It was very similar. Like, you know what I mean? Because even when we're not connected, we're still connected mentally. Like we have a bridge for sparring. I have a bridge to you right now. I have a very tight sense of this distance. I know exactly how long it's going to take me to hit you. See what I'm saying? Like I can, and I know exactly where I gotta be. So there's this bridge thing. You know what I'm saying? It's like a little, but I think that the base power generators are very similar, and at the highest level, they should be the same. My master said to me, my karate is a hard soft style, Tai Chi is a soft hard style. The end must meet the same place. At the end, you better have your league going up. You better have your.
So your two students are passing each other and on their journey.
And meet in the middle.
Yeah.
It's like one side from one side of the mountain, the other side of the mountain, and they meet in the middle. Right? So it should be the same thing. Like classical karate is not. It became that over generations, the commercializations, and then like Funakoshi changing it. And Funakoshi's original style wasn't as bad as it is now. I mean, my teacher left and created and recorrected his system, right? So Chun Kong is basically Shotokan that got fixed, right? Back to its original form. or more pure Chinese styles, more than like some of this, right? So it's corrected for fighting like more of a mental like I'm gonna fucking smash you, okay? His son was more like that, but that's what happened. It's like the power generation is the same because it all comes from China, okay? If it changed over time because it got diluted or changed because of commercialization or because they don't want this guy to learn, things happen. But at the highest level, they all came from 8 immortals, 5 ancestors. So how did it become so different? And why is everybody arguing over it?
That's a good question. Well, this goes back also to the same thing, if you want to bring in religion for a second, how you have 50 different churches in one community, but it all is stemming from the same thing and nobody can agree on anything, so they have to go do that church, I have to go do this church, and you go
But
do that church.
here's the thing, for example. Why are Christians so afraid of the banned Gospels? Listen how crazy this is. The Roman Catholic Church, Romans, right? So, hold on a second. So when you pull people, do you stretch with the attack hand and the other hand grabs? Hold that question 1 second, I'm going to answer it. So the Romans basically killed the guy, right, with the bull of Rashad from the Syrian army. And then all of a sudden they become the leaders of his revolt. Now, no, and only they can tell you what to do, and 1,000 years of Inquisition, and then when they tell you don't read this book, you listen to them? That's the problem. That's why people aren't getting this.
So basically, like Enoch, they're like, no, you can't read that. That's
Can't read that or any of the Gnostic text at all. So that's the problem. So let me answer these questions. Okay, so first, Clement Ray, when you pull people, do you stretch with the attack hand or do you grab the other? It depends, always depends. Okay? I'm going to get to you next end, okay? So his question was, do I stretch and pull? It depends on what I need to do at the time. It always depends, okay? If I'm trying to use which model. So a lot of this, a lot of the flack that people talking about communities at the Minzer, because he seems to be the fucking talk of the town everybody hates on. So I have to deal with him first, so his technique, and explain this first. In his model, I don't know. Okay? I don't know what he wants to do, but I doubt there's any grabbing. Okay? Because now when we use pluck is a grab. I don't know how he teaches Chai. I don't know how he teaches it. Okay? I can tell you, for me, it always depends on what he's going to do.
Chai hates here.
Right, my point is I don't know if he's actually, I'm saying he's actually with his fingers. Because I learned pluck from some of the Chinese masters in Chinatown like a tear.
Yeah, like you're ripping in their muscle.
It's called cord cutting.
Yeah.
So if you throw a punch,
No, we're not doing that.
Okay, fine. So you feel like I'm grabbing this tendon.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm going to tear this tendon right off your body. That's all
Yeah.
I do. Okay, so that's pluck in the style that I do. Okay? So if I'm going to do single whip, I'm going to grab this tendon and try to tear it. You feel that, right?
Mm-hmm.
So this is a different idea of grabbing. Right? What is your style trying to accomplish? I'm not trying to make believe that the style I put together, my Tai Chi, is the soft style. No, my Tai Chi was meant to hurt people that wanted to recreate what the Emperor's bodyguard were learning. Okay? I don't care about the Magic 5 Jing stuff. I don't care about, this is just something that happens to come up on the path. Okay? And I wanted to prove it wrong. I figured out, okay, this is real. Okay? That was the thing. I hope that answers the question. It really depends on what the opponent's doing and what I'm trying to get. Abner said, in your opinion, the entire concept of using chi energy to take hold and manipulate people's body is not correct or explained incorrectly. What is the explain? So we just went over this a bit. Okay? So what he's saying is that, it's the entire concept of using chi energy to hold and manipulate people's body is not correct. There's many issues with this semantic arguments. Okay? What is the chi? The problem is that Tai Chi is not Tai Chi. It is Tai Chi. Okay? It's a different word.
Yeah.
It's a different word. It's written completely differently. It's not Chi. Okay? I'm not saying that Chi isn't real, but I'm saying that it's not what's happening here. And even G is a point, because Chi is an ambiguous term that essentially means any type of energy that's life-sustaining or producing, right? That produces life and energy. Light is Chi, air has Chi, blood is in Chi, kinetic forces are in Chi. So is it wrong? Not exactly. So showing this example, right? So I put my Yi, I'm using your terms, I put my Yi on the center, and connect to his bone marrow. You people say the fascia. Connect to his fascia, now you can feel his shoulders is locked up. Now he can't move. So now he's stuck, right? So now from here, if I want to move him without using my energy, I have his force I've caught into my structure, okay? Now I'm going to do, I'm going to unload one side, and he has to go. I've used the Tai Chi model, and I put myself in the Tai Chi two-dimensionally, and I create yin on this side, because I'm 50-50. I open this, create yin, he has to go. So now I'm talking to his fascia and putting a chi. Yes, it's true, but it's not specific, and it's too ambiguous, and it makes it look like it's nonsense. It makes it sound like bullshit. This is a very distinct kinetic thing that's happening here. Okay? It's not magic, it's just a physics
So
trick.
what you're saying is you're turning on and turning off.
This is one method. There's many methods to get this effect.
Yeah.
So right now, all I'm doing is using borrowed force. I create the wheel. Now we're 50-50. He feels like I'm using Li. You feel it, right? I'm just holding my structure and keeping his rebound. Now I'm going to unload one. Okay?
So if we want to use Tai Chi terms, you're moving this side.
I release the gua.
Okay. Yeah, you will.
Because I'm not consciously rolling
Yeah,
back.
you're releasing this
Yes,
quad
yes,
and,
yes.
and releasing this.
I create.
Releasing this arm.
I've allowed you to create Ryu. I've allowed you to create Ryu by me just opening one side.
Okay. I hope that.
Okay,
that's a little helpful.
Right? So, but is it the chi? I think of it more as a G and vibrational force. So again, I'm thinking of my body as a ringing bell. Okay, there's different tones that are being rung. When I say wash the body of Li, I'm going to repeat this again, it's talking about hypertonic states of phasic muscle systems, right? The on-off flexion extension muscles that are constantly stuck cramping or on, and you don't even realize that they're on. Sometimes you have a cramp in your neck, and your neck is like locked up, and you don't even realize it's on, because you're so used to it.
Yeah.
So that's what they're talking about, getting rid of the Li, right? Getting rid of type 1 fiber flexion power, because that waveform
So
is too
even
slow.
though they're supposed to be off, they're still on.
Yes. So you have inefficient tension.
Yeah.
Okay? You have to have tension to support the structure. So when he puts pressure on me, if I have no tension, what's going to happen? You can go and fall. That's useful, but it only worked if I gave him tension first. See, and then I take it away.
Right.
Okay? So obviously there must be something. I have to have something to work with. So most of these people are using.
Right, because even if there's nothing, it's like if I'm just doing this, you have.
This is super subtle. Watch this. See, there's nothing to work with until I connect to him inside. See, now you feel when you connect to inside. See? So it takes a while to get that connection because now we're talking about very low amplitude pressure waves. So, and this is hard for me from the inside like this. This is very difficult for me. So if I relax, now I just have to do like the Qigong model. And I just have to connect to his fascia. You see, now you're probably now you're really resisting. You feel that, right? And I'm not even touching him. Look at this. And you really feel like you have to resist. But for me to get that is very difficult. How to do the connection. Okay. So that what I just tried to show, it's a lot easier for me to do this on top. I don't know why, but I feel more connected when I'm touching the top of the skin. For me to do this here, it's very difficult to do this with energy.
Yeah.
And it's real. But what really is happening is I'm sending out a vibrational sine wave. Okay? And I'm connecting to another wave. Right? So even if I'm going to do the no-touch stuff, which I'm going to be honest with you, accidentally pulled off the no-touch stuff. Okay? I can't reproduce it. It happened to me a couple of times, like, oh shit, and it freaked me out.
Like, wow, how about
it
that?
scared me, like, oh shit! So I don't like to talk about it. Okay? But it's not practical, so I'm never going to use that in a fight. And the reason why the guys who do no-touch stuff, it won't work on train fighters. On real hardcore, because their yi is so intense, and the actual shield that you create, even if you don't know Iron Body, you create a certain shielding effect. That just comes in that, it won't work. Not the same way. Unless you are like on like the monk level. Like you have to be a goon. Like the Lama Dandri guy. I showed you the Buddha Hachichu guy. That's legit. If I didn't meet my Qigong master and have him teach me, I would believe it. I would believe it. You know what I mean? And there's so many people faking it.
Yeah. There's
so many people faking it, so it's not what we're talking about. But let's talk about the actual normal people fighting connection. That's my mark. My model is, can this improve self-defense? So the connection I'm talking about first is you have to have the basic structure of the form. So basic, central, like, all your basic structural alignments that you should know from Tai Chi, from basic theory, if you have even a half-assed teacher or you did your study. Central equilibrium, standing pile, reaching through the fingertips, open and close. But then you come into the internal sensitivity of I touch him, and we're talking about triangulation of vector. So first I would say, here's my contact point. Where am I going? See, right now, he's actually going there. Felt that? Mm-hmm. Okay? When he lets go of me, let go. Really fast, let go. See the difference? So, if I'm moving palm, I'm not going to do that. But once I intend to hit you, you let go.
I'm getting hit, yeah.
I'm going right in. Mm-hmm. Okay? So first you have to have focused intent on your attack path, which is why I say that you should be doing a hard style first. And I've only seen the clips that people have been sending me of the Elemental because they want me to review and talk shit and whatever.
Can you take the Tai Chi path and make it hard first?
That's what I do.
Okay. So the form, you just start hard.
But hard is relative. Okay. To me, hard is about creating structural alignments that when you touch my bones, you're hitting the ground. That's hard Tai Chi to me. Mm-hmm. So that on accident, if you move into me, you get hit with that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So it's a structural thing. I'm really in a bad way, guys. Oh, okay. So we were talking about like mechanical alignment. So I want him. You have to I'm talking about the few clips I've seen. He was saying he did tunnel like Mantis. So he has a hard style where he has to target people on a linear path over and over again. That creates a certain amount of yi intent. So that when you start to triangulate forces, you have an idea of what that attack path used to be. So even if he decides to throw away the whole form, he can't because the body has a memory.
Yeah, it's already ingrained.
It's already in the subconscious, already in the body. You can never remove that. You can remove the freaking lean, wash your body of lean, all this shit. You'll never get rid of that triangulation training. It's just in your system. I can't help it. I can't help it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And you can feel that the line is very fine.
And the Tai Chi, it just amplifies that.
Yes.
Yeah.
So the connection is first by making your mind a spear and going into a fine point. Where it's like when I'm going to hit him, it's a very straight, very tight line. Come on, son, you gotta go. You know where to go? You sure? You sure, you little fuck? Ready for your treat now?
He looks awake now, that's for sure.
Yeah, I think he ate something that didn't make it feel too good.
It's almost like he just woke up and noticed I was here.
What's the matter, Mike? We're talking to the dog, by the way. I don't know if you can see his bed. There he is. What's that? Why are you so sad? What are you so sad about? Huh? What are you so sad about? So what was I saying? Sorry about that. Hold on. You gotta synchronize your yi with his yin and then just sort of pull out your structure. Yes. One way to look at this is outcome dependence. When I go into a match or whatever, I'm not trying to beat him. I'm not even there. So all this stuff is internalized on a very base level. I don't think about this. This is stuff I programmed in my form. So as I'm doing the form, I'm imagining this person, I'm imagining the pattern, I'm imagining where I'm going, I'm imagining the strike, I'm constantly, and when I talk about in the form, I'm doing the form. Let's see, let me turn this back. So if I'm doing my form, and guys, if you're all watching, hit the like button at least. You don't have to pay me, the fuck. Okay. All right, so if I'm doing the form, let's say, I'll do it left hand. So when I'm going into this position here, right, and I'm thinking to myself, there's things that are happening here. Okay? I'm not just doing the form.
One thing I notice is you're very deep in your form.
When I'm practicing for real, this is how I practice. Right? I'm practicing to hurt people.
Yeah.
Okay? And then actually, the reason my back hurts right now, because I wasn't practicing like this. I did a test. After I did the bone setting, and I did the Qigong video, I'm like, I have to heal. Let me try this energy model in small form and see what happens. And it's been 3.5 weeks, and every day I wake up it's worse and worse.
So you're doing your large.
So now, yesterday I started doing the long frame again because it's hurting me. And it's exactly what I said. But I needed to make sure before I go and preach that. You know what I mean? It actually fucked me up
to do the
to do the small frame.
To do the small frame.
If you have an injury, it's not good for you. It's my opinion. You need to be stretching and opening and twisting.
Yeah.
Right? And I can feel like all the muscles in my sacrum from my hip, I feel them locked up because I'm doing the stretching, and there's already injuries, so I'm doing the stretching and compressing these, but I'm not getting my full space in my hip. So it's like everything, like every time I wake up, I'm like, oh my God, this sucks. So I do not recommend it for injuries, so I'm never doing it again. Okay? So I got a car accident. That fucked me up. I was never supposed to walk again. If I can walk, I'll never be able to train. And I said, fuck you, I'm not getting your surgery. I did the chiropractor for a year and a couple of months at 3 days a week. And then I just did Tai Chi and I started training. And that was like 10 years ago. They said I wasn't going to be able to walk again. I practiced energy from childhood. I was training hungry from all kinds of. I believe it. I'm not going to say it was medical school, but I was in medical school for 2 years and I was studying with a Chinese doctor, Qigong or not. So I know for a fact, we did treatments on guys from the Royal College of Surgeons, I know for a fact, I believe it, because I do it. And which is why I'm so upset that I've been working to rehab myself in the last couple of months to get back in shape again, and now I just fucking jam myself up trying to do what I know is wrong.
Well, you wanted to prove the point.
I had to prove the point. Mm-hmm. But I figured, maybe, it'll be the better way.
So your recommendation is for anyone that's looking to rehabilitate is to really widen and open up the form.
So here's the stance rules for I learned was 2.5 shoulder widths is the proper stance length. Okay? And what's funny is even as I'm all fucked up, I can still get these positions because my body's trained to do it. But so 1 shoulder width is your standing posture. Right? So this is where I have my first level of structure. So here, and this is not for normal people, get into a good stance. Like a front, split stance.
Oh.
Now you're going to play with me. Push. So play me, push me. So for me, I can play from here, no problem, right? But this is the first level of width, okay? Then we have up to 2.5. So if I do this is my big stance, open stance. And this is the outside of my length. You should never be longer than 2.5 shoulder widths. Because at that point, the system breaks down. Because if your feet are shorter than shoulder width, the head of the femur and the acetabulum starts to rotate and gets subluxed, starts to get pulled out. So it creates, similar to having too much lead, there's a lock in the system they can use. You don't have balance. So that's the idea. I'll make sure I get sidetracked in the question. That was it, right? I'm making sure I'm on track here.
The last one was about the healing, and we were talking about the expansion of the frame.
Oh, right. So the idea is that I tried the last 3 weeks to see, okay, if I do just the energy with no, just using the energy, I started, over time, I'm starting to feel that the tissue, the connecting tissue, is starting to get smaller and compact. And every time I wake up in the morning, it's more and more and more. And there's no way to floss the fascia and get that moving here.
Without expansion.
Especially inside where the sacrum iliacus, these internal muscles, if they're not getting pumped, and it's not making the space. And I just did a bone setting that changed my entire structure. So now my anatomy is because I literally reset my foot. I should post a picture so you can see what I'm talking about. The foot was like this big, I put the bone in it, but it changed my entire anatomy. The way I put pressure on my left foot's changed, everything's changed. So now, in this adjustment, I'm like, you know what, maybe it's a good time for me to test this out and see what happens to my energy body. Are you kidding me? It's just pain. I'm never doing that shit again. Fuck you. Okay? Because it's not allowing me to pump the sacrum like I was doing before. And I never had sacral pain before. Okay? So I was like, I'm not doing that ever again. Any other good questions? I'm actually good.
Okay, guys, come on. If you have any questions, ask them now.
Ask them now.
You know, I'm here and he can demo on me, so come on.
Yep, ask away. You're not asking good enough questions. I also told them you were coming at 1 o'clock.
Oh, okay.
But we're early, so it's cool. Maybe more people show up. Okay. So, I think that's pretty good. What time is it now?
No.
Oh, so it's 1 o'clock. Okay, so now we're.
Well, it's 1 o'clock.
It's 1 o'clock. All right. So anybody, any questions? Anything good? All right. So that idea of the stance widening, I'm never doing that again. I refuse to believe that's a good idea. It's good for people who can't move already.
Well, I have a question for you. So in your last, not last video, but one of them, you were talking about when people are doing the form, they have that like instead of like, you know, even coming up and coming
So going
in,
back to responding to the elders posting and seeing Adam Ninzer do his demo, I said he's using the same energy model that I'm using when he connects, and there's tension, but the tension's coming from a stretch and structure, and I just put the stretch towards you.
Mm-hmm.
I'm hiding that stretch, so if you put enough pressure.
The faster I come in with pressure, the almost the easier it is for you to just swing me. You know?
Can you talk about seizing when your opponent jams himself? Yes. So if he connects to me here, right, there's different ways he can jam himself. First of all, I can create a counter pressure where he's putting himself in, and by me just not moving and letting go to the ground and keeping my position, the joint capsules have collapsed. So now he's jammed himself up. He's pushed into the wall and his joints have collapsed. Right? So I didn't have to be good, I just automatically seized him. And now he's stuck, you feel, right? You're kind of stuck. So he's stuck because I've collapsed his joint. The other way is I put energy into the system. See, now he's stuck because I created a stretch reflex, and now he feels like you feel kind of stuck, right? Okay? So, when you charge the chi, I know it sounds crazy, but Tai Chi talks about this, and you can charge the sword hand from the heavenly waters above us, okay? And you literally charge your fingers. So, energy is past, it's not at my tip, it's past my tip. So I'm actually going to touch you here. Watch this. I want you feel this?
Mm-hmm.
You feel? I'm actually
like right there.
I'm actually touching you. So now I'm going to. So that's energy. That's the chi. Okay. But on this level, I need you to connect to me to complete the circuit. Make sense?
Mm-hmm.
I need to create a circuit because I'm not on the level I can do without touching you.
Right.
Okay.
The more I give, the more you can send.
So that's one method where I'm using compression, refraction, elastic collision. The other one's completely energy. You see what I'm saying? This is not, you're compressed, I'm just going to try to reach to your, now you feel that joint?
Mm-hmm.
So now that joint's locked up. So I'm really trying to put my intent of my energy projection there. It's an actual magnetic wave, right? And you feel that it can move. See?
Mm-hmm.
So at a very low level, you can feel there's an actual, some kind of force that's not here. The other way is to do it through the bone marrow, which is more realistic in how I actually do it. This is just some bullshit example of Qigong stuff that is possible. I'm not very good at it, I don't practice it, I don't care. Because that's not going to help me in a fight. You grab me and I lock up your joint like that,
Yeah.
that's going to help me in a fight.
Yeah, that hurts.
Right? Okay? Sorry. So, yeah, it's, you see what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So, what, it's the same thing.
Man, yeah, that sucks.
Yeah, so I connect, I do the whole thing, I retrain, and now I connect to the system from inside the power of here.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? So I don't need the Qigong stuff. Okay? I'm gonna make a fist you can see. Okay? Same
You're
idea.
entering right up
I'm going through his bone marrow. I created the yin yang symbol inside the contact point, and now I create a vacuum or compression line.
Now this is a lot with E2 to
All
to
intent.
push through this.
All
Yeah.
intent. Okay, it's all my intention.
Yeah.
Right? But I'm taking a vibrational signal, right? And I'm riding up his bone marrow and fascia. Right, sorry. I try not to go that hard on people. Because again, the way I practice Fa Jing is to hurt people. What do you mean by create a yin yang symbol combo point? Okay.
Good question.
It's a very good question. You can go kind of. Okay. And we'll just make it really simple. Basically, I create a circle, right? And then I make one part of it empty. It can be this way, it can be this way, it doesn't make a difference. Okay? I'm making it very simple. So if the contact point was originally all white, okay, there's full power, I just make one side of it empty. So if he's touching me like so, his contact pressure, it could be an inch, it could be 5 inches, doesn't matter what it is. Whatever that point is, I consider it a circle, and now it's filled up. So what I'm going to do is make half of that circle empty. So let's just say I'll make the bottom half empty, and I roll because it has pump. You see the changes? You see how it's getting lifted? Okay? So I've taken his energy, it's going into my bone marrow, hitting the floor, coming back. This is going +5, comes back -5. At this condition, he's 0. So I'm feeling 0 pressure, but you're feeling 100. Okay? So now that I've created unity, like basically a null system, I've nulled out his pressure by giving him a return wave exactly 180 degrees out of phase. So at my contact point, I don't feel him. I just feel him grabbing me. I don't feel any internal pressure because my system is returning the wave exactly out of phase. Now I'm going to take the contact point and split it in two so that one piece becomes empty. So I split this contact point in half. So now at this contact point, if his pressure is here, I'll empty this side and fill up this side. I'll empty this side, fill up this side. Okay? And then I add a little bit of my yi, which really translates to ji.
And then adding Li. Ooh.
But Li's at the end. And I haven't used Li yet.
Right.
I have not used Li yet, and it looks like I have, or feels like I have. I still haven't used my muscular strength. Because the frequency of Fa Jing that I practice is this strong. Okay? So, okay?
I wanted to get my composure first.
I'm trying not to go too hard, because if I go any harder, you're gonna fucking...
Yeah, I know, so I wanted to
Okay?
just get my balance first.
She's deciding to go see it better. Okay. So let's just say this is the contact, okay? I create my structure, sacroiliac ascending pile, I reach, and now from here, there's a certain amount of my intent, which becomes my yi is G. Because intention is a linear projected electrical current going forward from your heart and your third eye. Your intent is a projection, a linear projection. So once I put my intent on him, there's a forward pressure. Even if I'm not moving, he senses pressure, right? So now I add my yi into that space. Does the circle stuff happen at the micro level, macro at the same time? Yes. Free Jesus Christ, thank you.
Now on a side note, with me feeling it and going back to the tricky bastard of Tai Chi and the Chinese, with me here, you're adding the empty on one and full on the other, which is the yin yang, because it's opposite. So you're getting empty on one side and full on the other side. Yeah.
So I create that state in your body on the contact. So I can make you do that move without me doing anything, just by changing the state of the point. That's a form of yi. So yi is basically literally your intent, is mind intention. This is why I don't like So this is why I don't like the whole problem with the community Tai Chi, that they don't translate these words. That's why I don't like to use them. But now in this middle ground, where I have to use
visualization.
It's yi is just a mind intent. Simple. Whatever you're focusing on, focus intent. Awareness and intent.
Yeah, your intent is just
right.
Destroying me.
Right. Right. So my intent is on destruction and hurting people, which is, the closed door secret Tai Chi.
So if you're training and your mind intent is just la 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 la,
then you're gonna fight like that.
That's what you're gonna get.
So the reason why these guys, even who are very good, like my buddy, Harry, is because he doesn't understand that I've stolen from other lineages, right? And my type of power feels like Li to you. You haven't felt my Li because you're my friend.
Right.
Okay? Harry's never felt my power because he's my friend. I love him. Okay? We play push hands. I play like everybody else. And he never felt my power. He's never felt me play Yi. Like my Li.
It's like you haven't even felt my Li.
He's never even felt half of my.
Right.
He's never felt a quarter of my power. You know what I'm saying? Because he's my friend. You know what I'm saying? I love the guy. I'm not gonna fucking hit him.
Right.
I'm not gonna show him what the Li is. You know what I mean? Because he doesn't need it. It's not for him. He's a nice guy. He's not gonna ever go into positions where he's getting shot at and stabbed and bullshit. He doesn't need this stuff. So those people I keep it from, they don't need it. So they don't understand the structural integrity and rebound elastic collision of that. Immediately on contact, you feel Li. It's a specific type of frequency of the Fa Jing that I use that's different than Richard Clear and different than other people. Okay? But it's not Li. It's just that it's hyper-focused, it has killing intent. So even though he's my friend, I can't remove the killing intent from my power for so many years. So when they put pressure on me, I immediately am tracking his spine. So even if I'm playing nice, you know what I'm saying? I can't not connect to you in a way that I'm ready to hit you.
Yeah, your whole intent is you want to just.
There's always, even with my best friends, I'm still targeting to destroy you and rip your heart out of your chest and break your fucking spine. But you're my friend, so it's a game, we're playing.
Right.
But my mind is, here's the opportunity to hit you in the rib, here's the opportunity to hit you in the throat, here's the opportunity to do this. This is how I play push-ups with them. They just don't know it. Because they're my friends. And I'm there to exchange, and it's a friendly thing, we're exchanging, we're playing together. They don't know half the skills that I know. And another thing is that, and they'll say it, I used to go to this meeting and say, I'm going here to steal from you. I said it all the time, but I always gave them back twice what I stole from them. Okay? So anytime I would go and take from people, I always give them two of what I took from them.
That makes sense.
You know what I'm saying? They just don't know it.
Yeah.
Because they don't understand my mentality, because they can't comprehend
Well,
it.
also, too, depending on where you are in your journey, you're not ready to receive that information.
Right. And it's just that for them. They don't know, none of them knew the type of work I did. None of them knew I was supposed to be a bodyguard. None of them knew, they don't really know. You know what I'm saying? Because they didn't need to know. You know what I'm saying? What for? My friend, we do push hands together, we go out to eat, drink some beers, and that's it. You don't need to know my life story. What is your best advice on my practice with a friend developing the skill to connect to move without me? Okay.
So basically, to connect.
I asked you to review the beginning of the stream because I have to keep repeating very important points. What is Li? Okay, like I found my friend Harry, who's very good now, he's a very good instructor. His say that I use too much Li because they don't understand what Li is. These terms are ambiguous. Li to me is not Li to them. What is Li? So if I'm here and I maintain my structure,
yeah, to me it feels like Li.
I don't feel stressed at all. You know what I'm saying? I don't just put my foot back and make my back feel better. Okay? So I don't feel anything here. If I'm in a push hands meeting and I'm here, come hard. I don't feel anything. I feel a little bit of pressure on my shoulder keeping the line, but I'm not using Li. The only thing is I'm letting him rebound and directing it to his spine. So every time he tries to rebound, I'm rebounding this force to his spine. I didn't start yet. I haven't started yet. This is just my structural integrity, elastic collision, rebound force. I haven't started yet.
So your advice to them immediately is to work on their structure. You
So,
have to get that solid.
So before you can do any of this shit, you have to go through the basic foundational training. I don't care what style it is. You have to have your structural training and your mind right. So geometry, timing, conditioning. So before you even try to, if you don't have the basic understanding of alignments and structural, mechanical alignment, because people sometimes say the form's not important, right? The video they sent me earlier said the form's not important. He's right. The form's important and it's not important. Because there's a point where you don't need the form. However, there's always the structural component of the form as well. So even if I'm pushing it, I'm gonna try not to look like I'm doing any form, just kind of pushing it. Okay? Even if let's keep coming. Okay? Even if it doesn't look like I'm doing anything, If I actually broke it down, you're still going to see the move. You're still going to see roll back, you're still going to see press, you're still going to see something. So you can fail with shuttles. You know what I'm saying? Roll back, single whip, okay? So it looks like you just put him in a headlock, right? I'll come back with a hand. So this is single whip. So my single whip is a combination of several different styles single whip. Right? So you have this neck break in it. Okay?
And that's your whole single whip.
That's my single whip.
Yeah.
The entire single whip. I don't really show people. Okay? So there's a lot of different stuff happening in the single whip. There's too many things to explain on the video right now.
Yeah, so the typical single whip has your hands vertical, which doesn't make any sense to me. It should more like.
It makes sense, but structurally it's incorrect because in the classic it says, before you go left, go right, before you go up, go down. So you can't do this.
Oh, that's the trick too.
You cannot do this. It's incorrect according to the classics because you cannot have a level plane. According to the classics, my understanding. So it has to be slightly off, right? Because you don't want to have a dead energy. They solve this problem on the 2D plane because they don't roll it out. So if I hit you, I'm not going to hit you here and come back. I'm going to hit you here and roll it out. So I have this rolling force, right? But it's still not perfectly correct because it shouldn't be level. It should be slightly off. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So that's just my opinion. Do I get sidetracked again? So, okay, basically let's move his without Lee. Okay. So, again, Lee is relative because Karen's a really good teacher now and he still thinks I'm doing his Lee. I don't blame him because it's again these terms, what do they mean? Any time of force that you feel is resistance isn't fucking Lee. Anytime the opponent feels resistance is not Lee. Okay? So, to get him to move without using Lee, to whose standard of Lee? Okay? I'm going to go back to my definition is Lee, as my understanding because this is what we were talking about yesterday in Discord. I'm going to try to translate the general Fajing people, like Adam's language, into Western medicine language. And what they're saying is to remove hypertonic conditions for facial muscles, okay, and to rely on tonic muscle. That's what they're talking about. Okay, so they're talking about getting rid of flexion extension muscle as the primary driver to use expansive force, rebound, elastic collision force, and structural alignments and timing. Okay, but the main chi power that they're using is a wave from postural tonic muscle that are always on and they vibrate at a very high frequency. And when the amplitude of that wave is equal to the amplitude of a low frequency type 1 fiber wave, it will cut through the wave and bounce them. Okay, so we explained this 4 times already, so you guys have to rewind the video later, but I can't keep repeating the same thing. So that's the idea of what type of Lee are we talking about. Okay? Some people will say anytime they feel resistance from me is Lee. If you're hitting my bone marrow and you're getting a force shot on you, I'm not doing anything. How is this fucking Lee? I'm just standing here, bro. You're running into my frame. It's not my fault I sat here for fucking 20 years doing this. Okay? So for me, I've done this type of exercise for so long that when you touch me, I don't look as strong as I do. Right? So it's not Lee, it's just the inherent power within my system and structure from doing this for so many years that I feel like a tree.
Yeah, that's just your developed base.
That's your
starting point.
That's my start point.
Yeah.
That's my start point.
Yeah.
I can't do any less than that. Okay? So
it's like to do less than that, you go to that wet noodle. That's where you don't want to.
That's exactly my point. It's like if I do any less than this, I go to this.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm literally at my default ready position, and they think it's Lee. It's not Lee. It's just me standing here, bro. It's just I've worked on my standing posture for 40 years. 40 years. Okay.
If we want to put it in the Chinese terms too, we would say that is your palm.
Right. No. Can you go over seeing? Okay, I'll go over. What's next? Okay. So to finish your question, what were you saying?
So you've built a stronger palm, a stronger ward off just by touch. Like as soon as you're
it's
there.
It's not really palm. Okay? Because what I'm talking about by default is more of G. What happens is he touches me, this wave gets into my bone marrow, hits the ground, and comes back exactly out of phase 180 degrees and cancels itself out in the contact point. So I'm not feeling anything in my structure, I'm just feeling like a ringing. Okay? So then I put my mind on him, and now I'm connecting, he feels G, which is my intention just reaching towards the center. When I combine these two forces, he feels like I'm fighting him. That make sense? This is inherent to my Tai Chi system. Because I want people to fight people. Saying, my idea is that all this push hand shit has to go to the handset when I'm fighting him.
Has to accomplish the goal.
All my push hand goes to that. So, I'll make sure I'm answering the questions in order. Yes, I did, and I'll go over it again probably. So can you go over the scene where you pull down the person, okay? There's different methods of pulling. Yeah, he ate something he shouldn't have ate. He probably got fucking... So, talk about the dog. So there's different ways to get the person to go down. Alright? Sometimes I'll pull him with Chai and pluck him down. Sometimes I'll roll him down. There's different methods depending on what he's giving me. So if he put pressure, right? Depending on what he's giving me, I can do the same thing. Right? And what I did here is a combination of taking the force to the bone marrow, creating sung, and sinking the chi. What that means to me is taking his force wave, his G force, into my axial skeleton, bringing it into the ground, and then bringing it back up out of phase 180 degrees. At this point, I change the contact point. I really want to open or close. See? You see?
Yeah, you're emptying this side and filling this side. It's like you said, the Tai Chi model.
I'm just using the Tai Chi symbol.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah.
I want to do on. I can do the same thing, right?
So emptying, filling.
Emptying, filling, okay? Pung. Okay? So it's the same idea. If I'm going to pull him down, it depends on what he's doing. So if I want to use more Li, how I use Chai is Li. Right? My pluck is definitely a hard pluck. So I grab it and I'm gonna pluck you.
Yeah, you want to rip their.
So for me, Chai is always force. Okay? It's always yank this guy's fucking arm off his body. Okay? There's different ways that I can do that, you know? There's also directing force where I'm gonna roll the force down on him. Okay? So I'm trying to make the waves so you can see on the camera, because I just do it from here, it just looks like this. It looks stupid. So I'm trying to make something you can see. So I'm going to roll the force down on him. Going to roll the force down on him. Okay? So I pulled him.
Oh, it's so fun.
It's fun, right? Yeah. They're going to music puck on. So I fill up and I can let go. That's another method. So I trick him to go intense and then drop him. I can do Chai like that, where I pluck him like that. Okay? So I'm trying to figure out how to show them.
I know it's like hard so that it doesn't look like bullshit. Like I said, that's where everybody's mindset is when they watch. Is like, oh, that's just fake. That's just.
I don't blame him. This is the reason I got into it. My teacher, I wish these had phone books. This is how I learned Tai Chi, guys. This is on your chest. Okay, actually the other side, this is expensive and that's what he did. He puts a phone book on my chest, and he does this. Open fist, put it the other way. I don't usually left hand have to play guitar.
No, don't be too hard on me.
It's a fucking dude. People close to your chest up. And this was like this. Okay? Just tap me just like that. I wasn't hard. I didn't even do it again. So no, I just take my hip. Okay?
Yeah.
Sorry. Sorry. I didn't mean that.
Okay.
So that's how I learned Tai Chi. I got punched in the fucking chest. Okay? So I didn't understand this Fa Jing bullshit. I just knew that you hit people really hard with Tai Chi. I was like, oh shit, I want to learn that. Can you please show me that? So that was my experience with Tai Chi Chuan. It was learning William Chen's 60 movement form. I had his book, and I had someone punch me in the chest. That's all I knew about Tai Chi until 2001, until when I met Avi. I was renting a school.
Avi?
Avi Schneider.
He's with Clear also, right?
I don't know if they have to know each other.
Yeah, he lives in North Carolina, Asheville now.
No!
Yeah, he does.
Really?
Yeah.
That's awesome. So I took maybe 12 to 24 lessons with him. I don't remember exactly how many. It's fucking 20-something years ago. And he's the one that got me into push hands and the Chen Man Ching form.
Full circle here.
And then I did the Chen Man Ching form a couple of times. I was like, why am I going to do this for? It has less moves than my William Chen form. But this doesn't make any sense. You know, I have more than them. Why am I going to go out? Why am I going to go backwards?
Right.
But, you know, so at that point I'm like, okay, so it's more than this Tai Chi shit. Okay, that's let me go. Because again, I only did it because I heard it would keep me healthy from doing the hard style. And it helped me hit harder. That's all I cared about. So YouTube started, I started seeing the magic Fa Jing shit. And immediately I'm like, what the hell is this bullshit? I'm like, no. No, old man. I think I actually saw the, what's his name? Xian God.
Yeah,
Yang Shen, whatever God. I think that's one of the main ones I saw also. And some other, like, I mean, like,
something like that, yeah.
no, I'm talking about, these are like some obscure videos from China. I can't even find them anymore. Because back when YouTube was still YouTube. And like, you could get anything. It's the Wild West. And I saw some shit. And I was like, what the fuck was that? I'm like, no, let's run that back. I gotta learn that now. So it became a mission to figure out, okay, they gotta be cheating. And then I started seeing some fake, I'm like, okay, that's obviously bullshit. And then I'm like, okay, what's going on? So I wanted to figure it out. I didn't know what it is. It didn't exist. So, let me try answering your money. The vibration of the bone marrow. Okay, blah, 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 so I did that one. Okay, I think I answered the question. You must about the vibration of the bone marrow. This is something that happens naturally from doing the form correctly. So, if I do the form properly, and just keep pushing toward me, just come randomly, it shouldn't matter what I'm doing. Just come do whatever you want. It shouldn't matter what I'm doing. Okay? Okay, I'm still going to have the same quality. You know what I mean? Like when you touch me in the back, there's still something that's happening that's still, it's just it's a state. It's a state, right? Comes from the combination of all the basic elements. An expert or a master is just an expert at basics. The reason why I became so better than all the people I've ever trained, I learned this at a very, very young age. That if you master basic fundamental blocks, you then can stack them to make elaborate things. This is how I get good at anything. I break down what is the fundamental, most important beginner shit, and I just keep doing that beginner shit until it's so much better than everybody else's. See what I'm saying? Because that makes the difference of being able to stack them on top of it. My basics are perfect. That's why. You see what I'm saying? They're nearly perfect. It's never perfect. But my point is that's the goal. Yeah. Right? Is to get my fundamental practice so on the money that everything else around it is a good base. If you put things on a shitty foundation, it works. So most important is to have your understanding of what is essential equilibrium. Right? Dong, ding, dong, I'm not going to call it, right? Understanding these concepts, but really getting them, right? Understanding, why I'm talking about the sacrum thing today, right? The first question you asked me, is your spine flex a certain way? Does it keep flexing your butt? There's actually a total different model that I'm supposed to test out today. I'm glad we have, so good a segue. So, when I do the Qigong, when I look at my lungs as 4 quadrants that move in a figure 8. So when I breathe in, I can breathe into my upper chest or my lower back. So even though my stomach expands, I'm breathing into my kidneys and my lower back, or my upper chest. When I do the opening the form and clear chest, come push me, I'm breathing here. You should be able to do it here, in the middle chest. Huh? And I never got to try this before, because I always use the lower Dantian model. Okay?
Instead of your 3 dantians.
Right, where I can load up from here, come. And I can work from here also. I never tried it, but this is what we're discussing this yet. So it's using the upper So I guess
Actually,
I guess it works.
You know,
I guess it works.
you know the funny thing that you should say that because you know when we were talking about Mark Rasmus.
Yeah.
Mark Rasmus says that when you sink your chi to the dantian and really sink here, you're missing out on the astral around you, and you're sinking into the astral instead of sinking into the ground.
Backwards. I know what you're saying. I think, yeah, you're saying it backwards. I think it is wrong. So, that's another thing, like the metaphysics that I learned is very disjointed also. And I learned some from my family, which is a bunch of witches. I learned some from other places, my Qigong master, becoming a Buddhist, and then I studied a lot of occult science, and so I have different terminology, right? So I don't have the right words to put it into. Whereas I just went to his library, I haven't got to watch anything, but that guy went ham. He really went ham on that. So I gotta give the guy respect. Holy shit. But yeah, I can see that. But again, I had my Qigong training, and because I did remote viewing, everybody sold like predictions like that, and I got in trouble for it. So I came about this astral stuff and metaphysics in a different way. So I don't have his terminology. I don't have the path, like a linear path that he does. Mm-hmm. So, but I understand what he means because it's like I feel like my body is separate from me when I'm playing, and I feel like I'm out here. So my body's sinking in chi, but my intent is like, I feel like I'm out of my head. And I don't know how to explain that. Like I feel like I'm half in and half out.
Well, it would be a Tai Chi. You're half in.
Yeah, but I don't know if that's correct. Because I don't have anybody to teach that to me.
Yeah.
It's saying it's buffering for no reason. Is this stream still running?
It says live.
Yeah, it says live. So it matters. Yeah, so. That's fine. You can also sing so much that you forget about the top half of your body, which isn't good.
That's kind of what he was meaning.
Yeah, okay. So you can sing so much that you forget the top part of your body, which isn't good. I don't know, because, again, I take for granted how much people don't know. Like, my sparring video, I take for granted people don't understand, the setups and the traps and the positioning and the angle changes and the timing. They just see guys kicking. And they don't have any reference of what actually is happening.
Yeah.
They can't see it. They really can't see it. There's one guy, like my bitch, who I'm arguing with, my bitch thinks that, he's gonna see all the moves. When you're in front of me, it's not gonna be like that. It looks completely different from this angle, right? If I throw a punch this way, and I throw a punch this way, it looks completely different.
Oh yeah.
Okay? It's a completely different thing. You're not gonna see it until it hits you in the face. It's just in your face. It's like, what the fuck was that, right? Like, there's nothing to react to unless you were trained specifically for that. So, I don't understand how the average person goes through it because I came from a hard style first. By boxing, I was always on my toes, right? And then when I got to Taekwondo, we have a very strange, we float. So, one of the examples we would do, my teacher would say, I want you to guess which one of my heels on the ground right now. And you can slide it under the one you think is on the ground.
Oh, on the ground? Oh.
See? That's what I'm talking about. It looks like my feet are on the ground. Right? We're not. So we're sunk, but we're still floating. You know what I mean? So I've had so much training that I can't relate to the problems that normal people have. So it's very well that they're correct, that they sink too low, they forget about their body. I don't know because my body programming is so different than the average person that Harry thinks I'm using Lee. Right. You know what I mean? I understand it. And maybe from their lineage is correct. Because what's Lee to him? I don't know. Because no one has a defining, tangible thing, exactly what it means. Right?
Right.
If any time you feel resistance,
again, you say it's the play in words. It's like, well, your meaning is different than my meaning.
if any time you feel resistance in your body is Lee, then okay, I'm using Lee. Call it what you want. I'm not going to just let you run me over.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? If you're running, and how I look at it is you're running into a pile, a post. Put pressure here. If he's running into this structure, okay, I'm not fighting him, but you feel the pressure back, right?
Mm-hmm.
You feel a return wave. Is this lead?
No.
It may be to his lineage. Because he's not wrong if that's what Li means to them.
Yeah.
It's not what Li means to me.
Right. That makes sense.
Understand?
Mm-hmm.
Li to me is specifically phasic on-off muscle in a hypertonic state or compressing and flexing.
Well, my understanding is if I'm just straight up just trying to make muscle you.
Right!
Yeah.
Right. Right. Exactly. Now at the time, when I was playing with him, I'm also able to take a 100-pound kettlebell and one-arm it and do muscle-ups and tabletop. You've seen the videos, okay? So I was ridiculously strong for my frame. So everything feels like Li when you touch me. But that's not, it's just the relative strength. If I was really using Li, I would pick him up and body slam him. You couldn't stop me.
Yeah.
I can literally lift 500 pounds. Literally. If I wanted to lift him up, I would just pick him up in the leg and fucking pick him up. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And I love Harry. I'm not saying this is an insult. I'm saying we're talking about the use of words. He may be correct to their lineage.
Mm-hmm.
But in my effect, all I'm doing is giving him my structure and putting my intent on the spine. And that creates a force, a quality of force that nobody else I've ever seen has. So my Tai Chi force is a very specific force I stole from White Crane and Baji guys.
And your intent.
And my intent, right? So it's a stolen force from transmission from field.
I almost think if you don't have that intent, that's like more than 50% of.
You have to have at least directional triangulation.
Yeah.
You have to be able to direct your force and your mind into a specific point. Because most people can't even do this. They put their hand up, and I see this there's a guy on the I was trying to explain this to on a video, my first videos on the channel from World Tai Chi Day. I'm explaining to him, he's in a bump sound, and he's here. I'm like, you're not coming towards me. And he lets go, and he's going over there. And I'm like, you're not getting it. You think you're coming forward. You're not coming forward. And that's what I think the key is, that they don't understand how fine my intent really is.
Yeah, it's like a laser.
Yeah, exactly. Until you touch my hand, you're not going to understand.
Yeah.
Okay? Because I touched you, and so it's literally like a needle.
Like a straight.
It's a needle.
Right there, yeah.
That's one part of the classic also. It's a needle. I'm taking a very fine point. I'm connecting all my force into a point.
Mm-hmm.
So this is everything into a point, which creates this. And there's also a menacing feeling because I can't take away the killing intent. I bring it away and you know we're friends, I'm not going to hurt you. But as soon as you touch me, you feel that I've done this before.
Uh-huh.
And I've done this before, and I have
1,000 times.
And I have ripped people apart.
10,000 times.
Right, and you can feel that I've actually hurt people, and I don't care about hurting you. As something inside a person's spirit, you feel it. Right? You can just feel it. As soon as I touch you, you feel there's a different type of force, a different type of accuracy. So this is something that cannot be explained until you have a transmission, someone touching you. Right? So even if me and Adam were side by side, and we both did the same pump, and we're both using the same technique, and let's just say I studied his system, okay, and I did it perfectly, and we're exactly the same size and everything, because my mind intent is a specific, it's going to feel different, okay, because the way that I generate my mind is different, see, the color is different, see? So you're never going to feel this in somebody else because it's my energy, it's my mind.
Right. Yeah.
Does it make sense?
As it should be, almost like each
Right.
person you feel, they
Right.
should be different.
But, I mean, I can still want to say bullshit. you think you're wonderful, you're going to die on me. You can also think, you get top of it. Okay, any other questions? I would assume more people would have showed up for this shit show. But, I'll give them a second. Think about some questions. You want some of this stuff? It is fresh.
That's my son's favorite beer.
Oh yeah? Good kid. I like him. I like him already. Yeah, so.
He's like, I don't like that cheap beer.
Nothing. I got you guys stumped. No questions at all.
I guess everybody's tapped out.
Well, they're not tapped out. Some people are working, some people whatever, and I've also gave them a lot to work with so far. I think, so hitting people with fudging as a strike. Okay, fudging literally is explosive force. Okay, it should be ha, right? It is hang and ha, hey, ha, right? It should be a power, right? An explosion. Stop. No. Real fudging is the same as karate. Reverse punching karate, the way I learned it, is exactly the same as a Chen style punch. Exactly the same. The only difference is they have a bent wrist. For some reason, they punch like this.
Well, like you said in one of your videos, it's like sneezing.
Yes, it's exactly it's a sneeze. Mm-hmm. It's a sneeze, right? So there's the oblique sling opens. And there's a twitch. This as though dead weight. It's flying, and then at the end it snaps in, and there's release. At no point have we go. This is some modern sport misunderstanding bullshit, and it's not real karate. It's not real anything. So. That's how I look at it.
Or like William Chen, I saw in one of his videos, he says it's like a stinky guy walks up to you and you say, get away. Get away!
Yeah! Get away! Yeah, like that. That's what it should feel like. It should feel like...
Yeah, like a real startle, like, whoa, what was that?
Right. Because that's what it is. It's a flinch response. First move in your form is get off my shit. Is step away. Oh, don't touch me.
Like,
get away. Right. But you practice in slow motion.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Oh, don't touch me. Oh, don't touch me. Oh, don't touch me. Oh, don't touch my shirt. Oh, don't touch my shirt. Okay? Forgot bang! We don't fight like that. Yeah, you do the form like this, but you have to throw the fucking thing.
Yeah.
When you talk about fighting, you have to get off of this magical chi shit. It's you're gonna use full force. You're gonna use fudging. You're gonna use lead. Okay. The reason you don't train with lead is because you don't want to rely on lead. But you should not be able to. You should not wash your body of lead so much that you become a fucking noodle and you can't go through groceries. Okay. That's all. I agree with most of what this Adam Minzer guy is doing. In fact, so much of it is very similar. You know what I mean? Just that the words are confusing people.
Yeah.
And it's not their fault because they don't have the science that I have. And they're going by what the classics say, what's been repeated. And that's what my forefather, you know, Master Ching from Chong from Sheng was Sheng for Slang said it to Bing to Bong to Boo. And the Bippity Bob said it to us, and then now we're here.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I can't blame the guy. But, you know, we have to do something to fix this shit. And, you know, I understand what I'm saying with me, like, but understand that I can't, and at least in those days, I didn't have the luxury of living in a nice suburb and fucking, you know, I'd be randomly called to go do things, you know, and work in the field, you know what I mean? So I have to keep my skills up to a certain level, you know what I mean? Or I have to be able to use this stuff and make sure it works because people pay me to keep them alive. So I can't be, you know, on a job somewhere doing something, you know, and then it doesn't work. You know, because I'm going to be dead, my friends will be dead, the people I'm around are going to be dead, it's not going to be a good day. So even when I practice the soft chi power, in my mind, I'm thinking, an Emperor's bodyguard, how is he going to do it? Mm-hmm. The Emperor's bodyguard is not going to sit there and play fucking games with you. Okay? It's just not going to happen. Okay? You're going to something bad's going to happen to you. Yeah. Okay? Something real fucking bad's going to happen to you. Don't let the legends of all Israel fool you. No. Okay? There's the other legends of these guys touching you and your fucking organs explode and coughing up blood. Okay? No one talks like that. Right? Why did it become such a pussy fucking silence? This is not reality. So hitting people with fudging is a strike. That was the last thing. So this one might hurt your hand less. Okay. So you have long fist, because Tai Chi's from long fist, right? So you have long fist power. Okay? I'm barely touching you. You see what I'm saying? Okay? So the idea is if I'm here, because if I'm going to situation, bodyguard type work. I'm at the door, I have whoever the fucking package is.
Bang!
Someone rolls up on us. I can't create time to stance in full swing, right? He's here, and I see, gun, bang, go, like, it's not. There's no time for that shit.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's everything has to be like from right here, right there. Like, your face is cropped. You're fucked. You know what I'm saying? We don't have time for that kind of game, right? If I'm in contact here, same thing, right? I don't have time to play your fucking pushy hand bullshit. So I'm playing push hands with people, and I do like this. This is what I'm really thinking. Okay? Like, that's Tai Chi. Okay? Like the ultimate fist.
Right.
Not the ultimate push you and touch you. Not the ultimate pick your fucking limbs off your shirt. Okay? I'm gonna smash you and make sure there's nothing left. Oh, it will definitely send him to the hospital for sure. It'll send him dead. Okay? So that's the way Tai Chi should look when you're fighting. Loose boxing. Right? Roll back in the hand again. So roll back's here, right? That's roll back. Okay? Press can be here, or press can be here. Okay? So it's fucking like crane. It says snake and crane. Dotting. This is the fingertip. Okay? That's pretty hard for my fingertips. I don't train them. Right? But what I think about is mouth and the fang. So I can insert the fang, right? Or I can tap with the fang and hit the heel with the mouth. Or I hit the mouth and after insert the fang. So one of the moves here would be I would insert the fang by hitting and riding up and then coming down again. Or coming with the mouth and then ride the fang up. So the boxing style would be like, he continue moving this. How it winds up working out is he comes at this. This is what it should look like. It should just be, he comes to do something, I break that, I'm tearing something off his body. Single whip. Okay? It's not.
Single whip is your.
There's a lot of things.
Yeah.
Remember, it's a strike, it's a break, a grapple, a dislocation, a throw. It's all there all the time. All you have to do is open your eyes. It's always there.
Yeah.
It's snake and crane. It's snake and hook. Snake is always there. If I'm sitting here doing clear chest and push, what is this? Double palm strike. Originally, and I'm going to say this again, every movement in Tai Chi now, modern form that's unilateral, that's bilateral meaning on both sides, was never supposed to be that way. When you see, what's this called? God, my brain is fucking fried. Go to this golden continental leg split and kick, blah, blah, blah. You grab the head, you throw the knee, and then box the ears. Right? Box the ears, this is supposed to be this. Boxing is supposed to be this.
Bang.
Okay? It's bang, bang. But over time, they abbreviate everything to make it like this. But it's never going to happen. They go, like, you're not going to punch. Like, it's not going to happen like that. It was a notation. Okay? So I hit him in the knee, bang, and bang, bang.
Yeah.
Okay?
As they're going that way, you're coming back that way.
Bang, 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 bang.
Well, the first hit, the momentum is sending it that way, then the shot comes
Right.
back in.
On, and clear chest and push, just throw my hand push even. Throw my hand push is not, well, this is fine. But it's even just to split his energy makes it easier. You follow how I went? So instead of me taking it together, I just.
You went one way and went the other way. Huh?
So you feel woo 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 woo. So when I add that into a striking stuff, you come pop pop pop. Okay? Pop 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 pop. Because that first hand is to happen here, this. You follow that? So it's just crack. So they might even see that on the camera. I don't want to hurt you, so. Right? I do this to you for training, I'll use the flat part. But I'm actually going to do this. Okay? And you guys can see that as I'm going to punch him in the back of the tendon. Okay? So as this happens, pop, pop. Okay? I'm hitting him. Push hands to me is just this roll a bit. Yeah, these two hands. So to me, I'm not just doing these rolls. This is the you understand. Okay? This is nonsense to me. I change immediately now. Now I'm on. You feel as if I'm on. Mm-hmm. I was the same amount of force. And this is why people think it's too much lead. I'm just getting ready to hit you.
Yeah.
And in my mind, I've already hit you. This
Your
is what Harry doesn't
is
know.
Already there. Yeah.
This is what Harry doesn't know. In my mind, there's the 3 rings. And I'm stopping my attack either at the toll booth gate or at his chest. In my mind, I've already killed him 40 times. Okay? You're gonna push. Dead, 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 dead. Okay? That's what's going on in my mind in push hands. Okay? But we're playing dead. Keep going. Dead. Broken. Dead. Broken. This is what I'm thinking. He's thinking push.
Yeah.
And I let them, because that's what we're here for. But I'm always hiding my training. I'm using them for stimulus training for my fighting. Oh, it's pretty clean. Okay. So I'm using them for stimulus training for fighting. So here, dead. But I let him think that's a push. So he goes to correct that. Okay, fine. Broken, dead, broken, dead, broken, dead, broken, broken. That's what's actually happening. Okay? But I'm like, ah. And for me, we're just going to play here. keep going. Here. Don't let me. See, ah. See, here, dead, 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 broken off, dead, dead, dead. Okay? That's what I'm thinking in Tai Chi. Okay? Keep going. So you can go slow. You were going slow. Dead. Keep going. Dead. 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 Okay? The guy's fucking broken. Okay? But these are my friends when they push hands means I don't show them. They don't know in my head I've calculated 4,000 ways they can die in this hour. Because I would scare them away. I wouldn't train. You understand?
Yeah.
So you have to keep it a secret. It's supposed to be a secret. You understand? This is what they don't understand. There you go. Right? So, loose boxing, what do you think it is? What do you think they thought it was? Did I miss anybody? Okay, no, we didn't miss anything. So, going into the 3 rings thing, why it looks like, because in my mind I'm thinking of vector. So right here, he clocks that front. This is what I'm thinking in my head. Okay? This is Tai Chi! No one's going to tell me it's not Tai Chi. It's just in full speed. That's Tai Chi! Okay?
Yeah.
What do you think I mean, yes, I could just go from here and break his shit, but it's still BOM! It's still a fucking explosion. Right? We're just training. See, do you know what I'm talking about? So once I touched you, my head, you're already fucked up.
Right.
You're already fucked up. I touch you, you better be like, oh shit, that's it, bang!
Yeah, as soon as
Bang!
Oh, okay.
Okay? Like, it's always break. This is the real closed door shit. This is how I teach it. Mm-hmm. Okay? Smash. Because that's what it's about.
Yeah, that intent is just...
Right. So when he says I'm using lead, show him that. Show him.
He could see it.
Show him that. So you can understand what I mean by, this is what Lee looks like. Okay? You're fucking dead. All of you. You're all dead. Like 500 ways. That's the idea. So, but
I'm surprised nobody has any comments on that.
they're probably saying this guy's fucking nuts. I'm gonna limp to get my fancy juice and wait for more questions. So, but is that making sense?
Uh-huh.
Now, does that mean that because I do it this way, I do it that way, and because that way that he's wrong and I'm wrong, or who? No, we're expressing 2 different expressions of the same Tai Chi theory. And this idea that someone is wrong and someone, it's only wrong if it doesn't do what it says it's going to do. I don't mean to say that this does this and does this, and it doesn't. My Tai Chi does that and it does this. And who's wrong? Nobody's wrong. It's wrong if it goes against the classics. Okay? Because that's the one thing we have as a defining unit, is the Tai Chi symbol and what it actually means, right? And the diagram that it represents. And there's actually an ancient diagram of a bunch of circles. I think it's a bunch of, it looks like a square grid before the I Ching. And just circles, black and white circles. I forgot who it was that came up with this in some meditation. And you might find it's like really ancient shit. But aside from that, that's the thing that keeps us together. As long as it's following this expression of the 8 energies, blah, 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 who the fuck are you guys talking about? Like, you're wrong and you're right. Shut the fuck up. Shut the fuck up and train. You're a bunch of fucking cocksucking little bitches. The fucking rum-soaked fist forum, bunch of fucking little bitches that are always talking shit. They won't even let me answer them. You're the Reddit boys talking shit, bunch of little bitches. They don't come for lessons, they don't just talk shit. All they do is talk shit. In your silk pajamas, talking shit. Why? Why? I don't understand. Why can't everybody be fucking friends? Can't we just get along? Have a fucking beer and smack each other and just be happy? No! We're gonna make it a fucking problem. Alright, I'll make it a problem. I'm good at problems.
You're good at solving it.
So it depends. You know, there's always a good solution to me. I may not be a good solution to anybody else. So any more questions, guys? Gotta be something. Keep us going here, okay? I've gone over a lot of stuff. Anything specific you guys want to go over? Now's the time. You know, I don't know how much longer you can stay.
What time is it now?
2 o'clock? What time do you see you
3, 4.
So nothing from you guys? You're not going to get another experience like this. So motherfuckers, open your mouth. There's no stupid questions except the ones you don't ask. It doesn't make a difference. Just ask a damn question. Even if it's unrelated. You like my hair? How long does it take me to grow it?
Yeah, how long did it take you to grow
I
it?
don't know. I haven't cut it since, whatever, 20 years I haven't cut it. But it got to a length and I don't know if it's growing anymore or not.
Wow, okay, so it just...
It just kind of stopped. Oh, I think we got one. Do you have the same idea when you kick to get... Yes. Yeah, actually, that's the thing. The kicking that I learned is 5J, right? It's a relaxed structure that's propelled by a burst and ends with a burst. Okay? The big mistake that people are making from the internal arts to the external arts is they're comparing modern, commercialized, degraded sport systems of karate and taekwondo that are not the real thing. ITF taekwondo is not the real taekwondo. WTF taekwondo is not the real taekwondo. Okay, the modern taekwondo was invented in a brothel by the KCIA. In a brothel. Because they just didn't want to give Japan and China the credit that they deserved. Okay? And I don't blame them because Japan pissed everybody off. Okay? They really pissed everybody off at the time. I don't blame them. Okay? But it is what it is. But the original systems all came from the same place, so they should have the same concept. Right? There's structural alignment, there's relaxed, efficient power. When you blow the kick, it's a relaxed pulse that sends an arm or limb as a projectile, and then in the float, it's dead weight, and then you lock it again. So, pick it up. Reverse punch isn't this. Ugh. Reverse punch is. See what I'm saying? It's the exact same thing. So my back hurts right now. I'm not going to kick the pad. Also, if I kick the pad, he's going to hurt himself.
Probably.
It's not. It's too
that
much.
was enough right there.
Yeah. So I don't want to hurt you. But remember also, I learned Chungukwan, the original form of Chungukwan. And any of the old guys from the old Kwan days, from Mudakwan, Odakwan, all those guys, they know who I am style-wise. They know who Wan Kukli is. They know what my system is. Every one of them is going to see me move and they're going to say, oh shit, this guy's legit. They know my master's name. They know my grandmaster's Wan Kukli. They know him. Okay? This is from the power era. Okay? My grandmaster spawned Junri, Henry Cho, all these guys. All the Kwans came from him. So
I would argue to say that what we talked about earlier in the modern martial arts, that the mind intent is not there today like it was then.
Yeah. the leg queen has a brown belt in leg wrestling. Oh yeah? I have a black belt in fucking your mom. How's that? How's that? You want to see? Call her over. Chief Queen. That's fucking hilarious. Does he have a mullet? That's a mullet?
A big old stash.
Oh my god. Okay, Chief Queef, got any questions? Other than why I banged your mom so hard that I left the fucking hole gaping bigger than it was when you left the fucking room? Anything? Come on, you fuckers. Somebody gotta have some questions. You've already been here for, I'm here for you guys. I'm not doing this for me. I'm in pain and go lay down like an old man. I'm here for you guys. What, is there anything I haven't done yet? I think I did a good job debunking the debunkers for Adam Minzer's fan club.
I think so.
Alright, so, I don't know the guy, okay? I'm just doing it out of basic respect for another martial artist, because the guy, I know what it's like to fucking spend your entire life studying some shit, have a bunch of fucking delinquents running the guy, and no one's gonna say anything. I'm tired, and it's making me look bad. Thank you, Chief Queen, my son-in-law. So, you know, like I don't know what else to do for you guys, but you know, and all this stuff is just basic physics. I did the chair with the wheels, right? I did the chair demo. I did the chair demo over here. Is this some more magic fudging stuff? Woo! And focus with fascia. Okay, that's not fake. Okay, it's not fake. He pressurized my body. The bone marrow is compressed. My ischial tuberosities are compressed to the chair. Now the chair legs are my legs. So my legs are disconnected because I don't need them anymore. As long as I maintain the vertical pile from central equilibrium, his force is not going to be able to change the horizontal axis. I don't move. Now from here, I don't need my feet, see? Okay? Now you can see I started to slide because when I started swinging my feet, my pillar started to move. If I can keep my vertical stack, it doesn't matter what he does. Now from here, I just release one. I want to make it a little fancier, I add to a fascia. I talk to his fascia. Okay? I'm talking to, it's not wrong. It's just bad. It's not scientific. It's a good explanation to what these masters are feeling because they don't have the words to describe to you guys. They don't have the language.
I have one thing that I want to add. I don't even know if they can hear me, but
They should be able to hear you talk about.
um,
So, keep talking. So, whenever you stretch, does it pretty much make your body able to rebound in all directions? Hold your thought. So, the question is, so whenever you stretch, does it pretty much make your body able to rebound? No. The rebound, first, it's a combination of all these things in the system at once. Central equilibrium, decompression, expansion of the joints, right? But then, when he loads me, now I have to do something with this load. So I can either change the axis of the contact point and reverse the wave on him. I can null and zero out his power, so now there's nothing, and then I add my power, so he can't resist my power. Basically, if there's a basic way to describe this in physics, is we have a sine wave in one direction, and we have another one coming the exact opposite wave, 180 degrees in the other direction. Pen's dying. Okay? So, this pen died. Sorry, this is not looking good in the camera. God damn, why do you have to hurt me? Why? When I need you the most. Ooh, fuck bag. Okay. So, let's do this again. Okay. So, you have a sine wave, whoop-de-doo-de-doo. And then over here, we have the same wave, opposite direction, 180 degrees. Okay? So, if this wave is coming this way, and this is +5, and this wave is going this way at -5, the resultant force is 0. Okay? Now, what's happening here is that in my body, it's this way. So, He puts pressure. This wave is coming in, and yeah, sorry about that. It's coming in, going into the ground, coming back up at 180 degrees out of phase. So now he's 0. So if I do anything, he can't resist because he's already using 100% of his power. This is why it feels like I'm using me versus me to hammer, right? Because I've given him back his power. I've stolen his force into my system and give it back to him by shifting my weight. Okay? So that is the null state, where I created a null 0 point, where he puts pressure, and because I've allowed it to hit the ground, it's coming back out of phase. It hits the ground and comes back in the mirror image. So +5, -5 is 0. I don't feel anything in my state, because he's getting the force back exactly 180 degrees out of phase. So now once I stretch and I add something to it, you get that. And I'm talking to his fascia.
Oh, that one hurt.
Sorry. Alright, I'm gonna do that one again. Okay? I'm talking to his fascia. You can say that's true. My problem with it is this. The tendons are liquidy. I want to get into his bone. Right? I want to grab his structure. Okay? So when I talk to his fascia, I'm talking to his tendons, and I'm riding it to get into the origin point of where the origin of the muscle inserts, comes from in the bone. And then ride into the bone and then attack his spine. Okay? So as soon as I grab him, I'm in the spine. You see how his shoulder, can you get closer? You see what happens? So I'm going to talk to his fascia, try to do a slower wave. So, and I build it up, Okay? So try to make sure you can see this somehow. So here, go, I'm at 0, push a little harder, fine. So now I'm going to open my... That making sense? Mm-hmm. So we have... Now, I don't know how they do it. I just tell you how I do it. And from a Western science perspective, okay? So he's created compression in my bones. His body is ringing, because in order for him to move, there's variations, a bunch of sine waves. So there's a spectral thing happening. All these waves are coming in, hitting the bottom, coming back exactly opposite, so it's 0 in me, right? Only thing I feel is tension from holding the angle. Because he wants, it wants to displace. So my shoulder, the stabilizer, something turn on, because I have to hold this position.
Right, you have to hold my structure.
I have to hold the alignments to bring your structure into my structure. Mm-hmm. I'm not using my muscle to fight you.
Right.
I'm using my muscle to fight vector deviation. Mm-hmm. I don't want you to go somewhere else. So I'm using my muscle to keep you.
Again, it goes back. If you don't, then you're the limp noodle.
Exactly. So there's a certain type of tension that is Lee that's acceptable.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
It makes total sense. Because if not, if you were there, your arm would just go straight.
Which is a form of Leo, which is fine. But right. Just Leo, you get run over like poo. Right. You get shitted on.
Yeah.
See, it's nonsensical.
Yeah.
Right. So I think it's these misunderstandings of what's happening. Okay. So I don't want to be like I'm dissing these guys, but it's not using these terms correctly because you can't consciously control your fascia. You can visualize, and the nerve you don't feel the fascia. You're not supposed to feel it. Even though there's sensory neurons, you're not controlling the fascia. Okay? There's fascial pathways, right? The web is that you're not controlling that. You can, as in Tom Myers' anatomy trains, I definitely can control the fascial pathway. So I can easily use a spiral line and connect to his spiral line. Right? I can go to the superficial back line. Good.
Yeah, hold on.
Okay? So I can attack a path. But I'm not going to go into I'm saying the semantics are important, the words are important. Okay? So that's why I'm saying it's like there's a lot of confusion, and I don't blame these masters because they're trying to articulate something that took them years to grasp that was already occult and written in fucking riddles. So these guys are grabbing at straws and the best science and things they can relate to, but they're wrong. And it's confusing people even more.
Yeah, lots of confusion.
But it's not, it's still better than saying, oh, it's a chi. It's a magic. It's at least they're trying.
Yeah.
But I understand what they do. I didn't do it. I failed it, but I didn't feel it. I'm like, what the fuck are these guys talking about? This has to be a law. It has to be nonsense, right? It's like, so most of this has to be able to do is like the catching. See, I've already caught his force, and now because I've sealed him. See, you feel stuck. See what I mean? Show the shoulder stuck.
Mm-hmm.
Now I want. Make sense?
Mm-hmm.
So I just seal, and I used to seal. I want to attack his sinew, like. You see, you felt I had stretched this tendon.
I also have to make note, just from feeling all this, is the speed at which you're able to do, because it creates that jolting.
Yes, that's another thing
Because
that
if you don't have the intent that you have and the quickness,
yeah,
you're not getting the jerking.
and that's the thing. I developed this for doing damage to people.
Yeah, that damage factor is
that's
not there unless.
And most people don't do this. They don't understand. So when they feel my power, my jing like this, like I can do it soft and slow.
Yeah, but
But
that
I have to
fast
force
jolting
it.
is the word really that.
That's what the real shit is.
Yeah.
That's what the old masters in Chinatown showed me.
Mm-hmm.
And I got it through direct transmission, where they touched me and they said, "This is how
Okay, you feel that? Oh,
You do.
God, I felt that.
You do.
Shit.
You do. Oh, you do. Yeah, I do. I do, sir. Yes, sir. Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Like, yeah, that fucking hurt.
Don't test me, But so, like, I could do it slow and soft, but I have to. For me, I have to really concentrate on slowing my, because it's not my nature. My nature is I want to.
And your nature is just.
I want to go.
Yeah, now.
I want now.
Yeah.
Because you touch me, you're like, oh, you gotta go.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Uh-huh.
It's like, you gotta go. I don't have time for this shit.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, because you gotta, I also want to make sure that, because I'm a nice guy. Even if I'm like doing a private security, man, I don't really want to hurt people. Like, there's a part of me that, I'm not gonna lie, is a little psychotic in that sense, that there's a switch. That when I see someone's very bad, it switches on and I enjoy it. I enjoy my shit. Okay? And it's a bad thing. But for the most part, I'm very peaceful natured. I'll avoid the fight to the last second. Like, you guys had to push me for 10 years. You guys were cursing me out, talking shit on my name in the forums, gang stalking me on multi-levels, fucking YouTube corporate gang stalking, Facebook, and this is like evidence for me. And then 3 months of this fucking guy, constant back. After Damo Mitchell and his buddies came after me, I think I've had enough shit that it's time for you guys to see the real deal. It's just time, okay? But it's not that I want to. You've pushed to the point of no return. There's nowhere else to go now. Now you can't leave, okay? So it is what it is, okay? And say I'm fake now. Like, what excuse do you have? Like, there's no more excuses, okay? There's literally no more excuses. I don't want to hear it anymore. Like, everyone go play nice now. Go fucking play nice and shut the fuck up. But I mean, this seems to be like the demo. Everyone's like, oh, let me do it on the couch, but maybe not. Because I'm the master doing it on the couch. I gotta be like everybody else now. Oh, look, I'm a Tai Chi master. I'll be like, oh, when's he doing? I'm Tai Chi master. Oh, see, oh, I could touch you. I'm a Tai Chi master. I'm a Tai Chi master. Oh. I'm being a dick now. Okay? I don't know what the best way to do this to prove I'm not using my feet. I don't practice this. You know what I'm saying? Like, who the fuck practice this shit? I don't think about this stuff. You know, there's some reason people like to see this shit, so whatever. I try to make it softer for them.
This is all going back to that point I was going to tell you. I was going to make.
What's that?
I'll do when we're done. I think they got it.
I try to do slow because I really want to just. I really want to launch you. I don't want to hurt you or break anything.
Yeah.
So, nice and slow. I mean, it's a fun little game. I'm not gonna lie. I'm trying to think of how you guys would do it. I don't know what they would do, you know? Thank you. I appreciate that. Okay? So I don't, you know, I'm trying to think of what else is missing that they're saying is bullshit. You know? You gotta let me know if I missed anything, guys. Because he came all the way over here. You know what I mean? So, the rebound thing in all directions. I showed this in the universal body mechanics video. You go, if I want to push him, okay, let me change this. If I want to push him, and I use a two-dimensional vector, I go like this, you can just redirect me and throw me to the side. See, you can push me off. Don't let me do it, like, push me out. See what I'm saying? Now, push me out now. Because the force is, see what I mean? And I can also push them behind you. So I'm over there. I also can go from over here. Okay? I also can go from over here. So it's different positions. Come around the back. Okay? So there's a lot of these energy tricks. How I use this for real though, is once you touch me, broken.
Yes, that's the real.
Broken.
Yes. The rest of that is like everything else, but that's the point you were making before. Everything that's being done is all play.
Yes.
And everything that's being trained is just play.
Right.
It's not real.
Not real. I mean, look, I think that animism stuff is very real because I'm showing you. It's okay? And I'm not.
No, I don't mean that. I mean, as far as like when they're learning the technique, they're not thinking of it and actually like I'm going to bring you in and just screw you up.
Because they don't have to. And this is the thing, like, you know, this is what, you know, I don't like this fucking Donald Mitchell guy more than any of them. The other two guys, they started shit, I forgive them. Because, you know, the other guy came up and he tried to be respectful, and I made my point, and I said to him, what you gotta do? And he did it, so now we're good. Okay? I may have went off a little bit in the last video because that other bitch got upset, but I didn't mean it, so I apologize. We're good. This Donald Mitchell fuck, after everything's said and done, came in out of left field talking shit. Okay? Like, people like that are pissing me off.
Like, where'd you come from? Like, well, where have you been all these years?
Now you're like, for what? Who the hell are you? Like, you know? And the thing is, I don't understand is that their whole community is surrounded by a bunch of people who live in ivory towers and fucking, they're paper tigers. Okay? And even the good guys, you're inoculated from challenges. No one's.
They are.
They're not accepting any challenge fights.
They
They don't work in the field. Then no one's getting their hands on it, and they don't have to. I'm not saying they have to. But respect the people who do. Okay? Remember that we're all not like you. So you think you're mentally, your force is going all directions. Yes and no. There is a prerequisite state force in all directions. Because when I start reform, I'm now in a circle. Okay, so if I start the form, my out pressure, there's a pressure on my back and a little pressure on the sides. So I have this round pressure, but because of my yi intent, creates G, forward intentional pressure. Just from me thinking forward, there's automatically a forward. So I have a propensity to triangulate forward, however, everything's still counter pressure reacting in all directions. So it's happening at the same time, so why it's very confusing, because Peng Lu Jian is not, it's not Peng, and then Lu, and then G, and then Un. It's not how it works. It's everywhere, all the time. So I start the form with An, settle with Chi. An hits the ground, and then the bones hitting the ground causes the blood in my legs to come up back on the sides. That's Peng. You felt that now. Mm-hmm. So this is the liquid fluid system. You push it in, and then You feel the whoop, okay? But did you notice, if I didn't have yi, intense, creating linear force G, you wouldn't go back.
Yeah.
So I automatically have un, I automatically have pong, because my intense on, I have G. See what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So all these happen at the same time. Lu is happening because divergent force is still Lu in here also. So it's difficult to describe that all the energies are happening and not happening. Okay? The only thing I don't like about most of these fancier modern guys, the outer guys, is that because they've been so removed from fighting and practical work, they think that they can get away with not having the handsets anymore. And that's because when you get to a certain level and you're in that world, you get away with it. You're not getting away with it if you put gloves on. You need the handset Pangluji on. Okay? You need to know if he throws a punch with this, or I need this vector, I need the hands. Okay? They do something. Now, yes, if people are, I can Okashi, force, and do some whatever, but even
they're not coming back.
but even if you don't come back, let's just say you do that and I stab you in the fucking throat. The point is, internally, I'm still using the same mechanics. Ideas don't look at they don't look at it from the outside. You can't get away from the motor memory. I can hide the moves and make it look less like Wardolph and less like Fair Lady and less like this thing. But if we freeze frame the contact, I guarantee you, instructional integrity alignment is directly out of the form. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
If I just took his skin off and look at the structure of the system, same shit. He's not getting away from the form.
Yeah.
But the feeling of an experience, he's out of the form. Because you don't have conscious awareness of the motor memory. That man will never feel the Manta style because it's inside. If you have only a year, you can't get rid of it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So it's always there. It's always there. I hope that answers the question on that one. Okay? Any more questions? Keep them coming, guys. He's gotta go soon. Guys fucking wasting time over here. You wanna try this?
Okay.
You don't like fruit?
I do. I'll try it. Sure.
Fine. I broke my other fancy cup. You have to try this one. It's just a bunch of fruit I grind up. It's nothing fancy. Acceptable?
Mm-hmm. So that's banana, watermelon.
No banana. This is cantaloupe, watermelon, and pineapple. You know, it's the fastest way to eat fruit.
True.
No other questions? Come on, guys. So, there was, yesterday I did a video for this guy because he wanted to talk about stepping. Entries. So, in the form, every time we do the steps, in my form, I've broken it into 5 different power positions. There's a step, a shift, the turn, the shunt, and the settle. So there's 5 steps, right? Inch power, okay, we'll do that one next. So, when we're advancing, you ask me, why do I switch pan, why do I do this step here? So, over here. So let's just see if we have a boxing stance. Okay? So, right here, I want to advance on him. I want to take this space, so I'm going to kick his toe up, kick his knee, and then step in. That's why a lot of times you see play guitar like this, and then like that. It's not this and then this, right? So I'm doing that because I'm going to step in and take the space. Okay? So that's the idea. If he tries to be sneaky and try to kick with that leg, I block it and kick with that leg. Okay? Or if I'm this stand trying to kick you here, I kick his back leg. You see what I'm saying? I want to go for that back knee. Right? So if on this side you kick the back leg, I kick this, then kick the back leg.
Where you come right.
I'm going to go right with your balls.
Yeah.
I'm going right in. I'm going that way. Because again, this isn't fucking UFC, this isn't Muay Thai, I don't care, right? I gotta come in, there's steps. There's a rule, break everything on contact.
Yeah.
Break, smash. That's the rule. Another thing you'll see, if you watch my TKD video, fastest hands in the world, my first videos on the channel, right? You're not gonna see this when I do one of the moves, he punches, and look at my foot.
Yeah, I love that.
You're not gonna see it unless you know to look for it.
Yeah.
But I'm stepping on his toe also. So there's these little things that the people that are under this thing that I forget that they don't know to look for. They don't see all these little details. You know what I mean? And it bothers me that I work so hard on these fucking details.
Yeah.
That's the good stuff, you don't see it.
But that, like you said, that could just be like a basic step on the toe.
But why?
Well, then they can't.
Right, but
Yeah.
also what happens when I start to, I just broke your ankle. You fucked up your knee real bad. Real bad. Your knee's not good no more. You're gonna fuck a bad day. You know? But those little things, it's just like tiny little positional changes. Did I answer his question?
Oh, with the 1-inch power.
1 second, I gotta put the charger on before we lose the shit. Hold on. There we go, 5%! Woo! We almost fucked that one up. Okay. So I did a video on the inch power already. Pick up one of the patterns, I guess. Doesn't matter which one. So short power is really just efficiency. Okay? So the same swing I can get from here. Sorry. Okay?
Yeah.
That's not even that hard. Sorry. That's not even that hard. When I tell people I
It
hit,
was hard though.
when I tell people I hit harder than they ever get hit in their life, they think I'm fucking joking. Okay? I'm not joking. Okay? This is like, I came, my back hurts today, so I'm not trying to hit hard. This is just my normal swing. So, I'm going to do a little lighter than that, okay? Okay? So, I'm just turning. What I'm going to do here is I'm going to make this wave shorter and shorter. Okay? Making sense? So all I've done is I start from a big wave, okay, to a shorter one, to a shorter one. But the waveform, I'm still using a 9-section whip. Okay? But I'm just timing it even better. Okay? Now from here, the same way I would do a contraction, expansion, I'm just going to do that inside. That's all. Make sense?
Mm-hmm.
So it's really just a wave, okay? Now, like the Bruce Lee style, I'm not gonna hurt you this one, this is easy. This right here. So from here, when he collapses his fingertip, what's actually happening is he's hiding for the Bruce Lee style 1-inch punch. There's two ways to throw a punch in most styles. You either get a punch from these 2 knuckles or these 3 knuckles. These 2 knuckles are the interior oblique sling. These 3 knuckles are the posterior oblique sling. So with the Bruce Lee style punch, what he's doing is he's going to route and flex and connect to his back. It's not going to hurt. I'm just going to push it. Okay? Feel it?
Oh yeah.
So I'm doing it 0-inch. Okay? Okay? And I do really hard.
Tai Chi is pretty much 0-inch, right?
But the Tai Chi is literally 0.
Yeah.
It's literally 0 in power. I need to, in order to be real, you should be able to inject force from contact, full contact.
Yes.
But it's about the waveform. And karate style, I can go down. All I'm doing is connecting this ripple and waving it in sync. That's all it is. It's just very highly coordinated joint manipulation. Okay? Any more questions? Because I'm trying to cover everything. I did all the magic chi, fucking this to that, the blah blah blah. I don't want to hear any more bullshit. Go put this in the Reddit forums. Go put this in Facebook. Go put it in your fucking rum drum fucking fist forums. Whatever the fuck it is, I'm tired of hearing your shit. Okay? This is the end of it. This will be the end. Okay? There's no reason after my demonstration today that anyone can say it's fake. Okay? I don't understand. So Stop shop. More questions. What do we need, guys? Come on. Somebody. Anybody, come on.
I bet you the people, obviously the amount of live people are not there, but once more people actually watch the videos, then the comments will fly.
Yeah, that's how it always works. But I'm just trying to remember if I got everything that we're supposed to go over to make. I don't want to leave any holes for these idiots. You know what I'm saying? You know, and like, a lot of stuff I've already gone over in my videos, and they don't bother to watch them. And that really bothers me. It's like I got 140 videos. Okay, I doubt, except for like Mark Randall, but nobody's gone into detail with like complex combat theory. I have. Okay, I think I have the niche in the Tai Chi world as being the Tai Chi badass boy. Okay, I think I made that clear. So, but you guys didn't go do the research I give you for free.
The other thing too is like with what you were saying about the shadow man, it didn't allow you to evolve as the badass boy. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you were like basically like you're saying, if you were unlocked and more people were able to see,
I wouldn't have tried to be the badass.
Boom.
I would have tried to stay humble and quiet, and I just wanted to retire. I didn't want anybody to know I did the hard styles with that. I really didn't. I wanted to go undercover and just like teach biomechanics and like fitness stuff. And I was open. My company was basically fitness and training and sport coaching. I coach like sport karate people. You mean? So like I didn't.
So they didn't actually want this.
No. I had people separate with that.
Okay.
Instead, because way over the years I coach people. I don't teach them systems. I've only taught maybe 10 to 15 people a full system. I've had hundreds of students from different places, and I would call and play, everything. I mean, like for different. And when I get guys, some guys will come like, what economics? I got guys from the military, Army Rangers, fucking SEAL people like that coming in. I only had them for a short time.
Yeah.
And they want something authentic, but we don't have time to give them a fucking 10-year course.
Right.
So I have to give them something that's, authentic, healthy, but also is going to work. Because we don't have time to be giving a fucking Army Ranger bullshit. I can't do that.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
Like, I gotta make sure that if I'm teaching him something, he's gonna be able to throw this and make it work. You know what I'm saying? It's not you got time for bullshit. I'm not gonna say, oh, you're 10 years to learn. No! For hung guard, Zoga punch. Okay. So soft body, and I'm hurting. So tap, give me a punch. Okay, that's hard. Okay? Soft would be, okay, go ahead. You feel the rubber? Is it gooey? It's a different quality, right? I'm not very good again with the soft because I did hard Qigong for so long. Punching against resistance. I don't understand what that means. Punching against resistance.
Elaborate.
I don't know if that means punching against resistance. Gotta reword that because that makes I'm not sure what you mean. But this jelly thing, like push it and feel what I'm talking about. You feel that? It's like this weird rubbery feeling. I've only trained it to a low level from the form. Like I'm not as good as the other people are. I understand it, but I'm not gonna say I can.
You don't want to get hit anyway.
No, but I trained it because I want to make sure that if you do get hit, I have something.
Yeah.
Right? But I'm not good at it like at this master level. But I understand it. I can do it enough. That's better than nothing. But I've never, because my thing was I got enough just in case. But I have my hard body style. And getting kicked in the stomach 1,000 fucking times, I think I've done enough. I'm old, I'm tired, I don't want to get hit anymore. You just get to a point where you just don't want to...
Hey, I'm going to be 50 this year. I don't want to stand around and let people punch me.
That's what I'm saying. I just don't feel like doing it anymore. I'm tired, my back hurts, I can't walk. I'm done. I'm trying to leave you my legacy, okay? I'm trying to give you just in case something happens to me, you guys have it. That's literally all it's about. So there's a historical record that I did the work, I was here, and that there's witnesses and the shit, But the stuff with...
When someone holds your fist and you punch, and the person moves away, why are they
While or while? I think
While.
he means while they're pressing the fist. Okay. So again, push here. So I try to push him, force. It's hard for me to disconnect my yi. So okay, fine. Once I sink the chi. Sinking the chi means to take his wave, the sine wave, bring it to the ground, and return its opposite phase. So now he's 0. At that point, his power doesn't affect me. That's what sink the chi means. Okay? That's the best way I can describe this with Western anatomy perspective. Can you see that on camera? I'm going to fuck this up. So here, if I try to fight him without neutralizing his force, okay? First I release, and now he's 0. Okay? So I sink the chi. Okay? And I am sinking the chi. But to me, it's...
I think it gets confusing when people say sink the chi. They're like,
everything's confusing.
well, that was a big one because that was a tough one when I first started this. Like, I would always hear sink the chi, sink the chi, sink the chi, but they never explain what it means to sink the chi. It's like, what do you mean sink the chi?
What's it even mean? I don't even know what the chi is, bro. So sink the chi is so many things, okay? But I prefer to call it grounding out waveforms. Okay? Revert everything to acoustic physics and sine waves, and things will start to make sense. Okay? Bring everything down. In the beginning was the word, and the word was a sound. Okay? So, if he pushes me, there's a wave. Voo, 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 voo. I sink the chi. I'm routing his force to the ground and grounding it out. Now it doesn't matter what he does. What he does is irrelevant to me because my state's the same. Okay? So now he can keep pushing and I just do my form. And it doesn't matter because he's at 0 to me. You know, so you see, if his power's at 0, it doesn't matter what I'm doing. I don't know if I can see all that in the camera. But because I've neutralized his force on contact by dissolving and sinking the chi, okay? What he does is irrelevant to me. You see what I'm saying? Let's go this way. I'm gonna try a little. Give me a little less force. I don't want you to bang the TV. Okay? Because the rebound force might just pop. So what he does is irrelevant. So I don't really care what he's doing because my state creates the condition where anytime he touches my body, his force becomes 0 and then rolls off the center. Because there's so many things happening at once. Let's say I'm going from where were we in the form? Step to the parry, I can punch. Okay, fine. Here. Fix here. See, it doesn't matter what he's doing. No. Okay? See, there, if I don't neutralize, look, do the same thing. If I don't neutralize the force of contact, that happens. But if I go back to the state, that happens. Okay?
But see, that was really good point, what you just made, because the timing has to be spot on for neutralizing that, or you're just going to get lost.
No, because what happens is not the timing, it's the fact that I turned off the state.
That's what I mean, as far as like, but
Once
turning
the
on
state-
and turning off, right?
Once it's on forever. So once I start the form, see if I come, see here, I'm out and push me, I'm almost like, right? But once I turn on the state, it's just I'm in this place. So my body position, when you're putting force anywhere, I automatically zero you out. I automatically create, see here, what? You felt it? See right here, route, coming back up 0. You're not, I don't feel you inside. Make sense? You have not affected me. But to you, it feels resistance. You feel my force. You're like, oh, it's Lee. No, it's my G. And my intent is so strong, you feel it as force.
Mm-hmm.
My mind will is so focused, you feel that as a, what the fuck?
And the other interesting part about that is when you're doing that, it makes the person on this side want to give you even more,
Yes.
which makes them
Yes.
inbound even more.
It's a form of asking Jin. I remember
Yes.
Chinese terms.
Yeah.
So he does this, and that goes back
Yeah,
to
now you're initiating like, oh, what are you gonna do? And then I'm like, well, I gotta go back, which makes it worse on me.
Right.
Yeah.
And sometimes it happens because when you feel my yi attached to your spine, you get compressed and you want to decompress.
Yeah, yeah.
So now, and this is what starts to roll. So then now we start to play because you started the wheel.
Yeah.
You see what I mean?
Uh-huh.
You started this circular wheel thing. But it really comes down to the idea that I've negated your force by bringing it down to the ground. Now, if I use the form perfectly, it's even more powerful. So I can say the form doesn't matter and avoid the form and other form. I could do that. What happens when you stay really into the form and use the same technique? You become
Even better. Even
you're
more
very
powerful.
scary because
Yeah.
that chess game works.
Yeah.
There's no reason to ever abandon the structure. You don't have to. Okay? You want to play? I can be in perfect form. There's no reason for me not to use the form. Now I may hide it. Huh? I may hide the form and do it very small, but this is, you see what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Why am I not? It doesn't make sense,
Yeah.
right?
So you
So
must get amused when you watch these videos back.
I try not to. I try to watch the videos after. I'll watch it again if someone needs something, or I want to make sure I went over something, but I don't watch this shit. I hate it. I don't like, just, I'll force myself sometimes to watch to see, okay, did I say that right?
So here's a question. So if my structure, and I've come to the point where I have the same mind intent as you, and we both have this pressing mind intent to center, and we both have, it's almost like equal at that point.
Yes.
Like, how do you then neutralize or advance in on that already equalized?
So I got
pressure?
this concept from a legend from these two kendo masters, these grand masters who were in a duel. And they pick up the sword and they touch the swords at the tip and come across it. They start the fight here. See, right now, you've already lost.
Yeah.
You're dead.
Mm-hmm.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because your energy is off.
Yeah.
And there's another me.
That's what I
fighting.
mean. Like, if
I'm trying to
you
get to
and
this
I-
point,
yeah.
and we're both here. We're going to sit here until somebody breaks the finite point. And as soon as it happens, the other person dies. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because as soon as you're off, dead.
Bang. Yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So at that high level pushing a game, we're right here. Like
So it's basically a standoff. You're both just standing there waiting for the feel
the
of
two
something that's off.
highest level plays I've had was with Richard Clear and Master Wu. And while on the outside we're just playing like this,
Mhm.
inside is like like it's a fucking on the outside you're probably just like oh
Yeah,
but
that's nice.
on the other fucking places there's like it's like battles of ancestors and shit. It's a whole other level. Whole other level of that game. Okay? Like so it really comes down to who breaks the focus of the line.
Yeah.
Because again, on the theory of Tai Chi specifically, so we're crossing heads. So you're already off. As soon as any deviation, I'm going to use it.
Mm-hmm.
And when I use it for real, I'm coming right in.
Yeah.
You already have a broken arm, you have a throat, okay? And I use the line in that throat, so I attack you, I'm attacking my thumb.
Mm-hmm.
Alright? So instead of looking at the mask, just take this off. Okay? I'm serious. I've literally gone to people and grab them like this. And,
Oh my god.
because sometimes you need that kind of, you're fucking leaving, let's go! You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like sometimes I have to grab them and fucking throw them out of the place, and I'm not gonna be nice about it. I'm not gonna wrestle with you. I'm gonna grab them in the fucking face. I'm like, we're fucking leaving now. Okay?
Yeah.
Like right now. And that's when they, because they're like, please, sorry, instant having that night, like, well, fuck you, this and that.
That's what
Sir, please, sir, I fucking said we're leaving now. Let's go.
Yeah.
And that switch usually is like, oh, whoa. And everybody around like, oh shit. Because it goes from please, sir, can we please, to, okay, now it's gone. See what I'm saying? And you see it's very natural. I've done this 1,000 times.
Yeah.
Okay? I've done this so many times. Because that's how you have to do it. You know what I mean? And you also have to learn to be loud because when you're in a fucking crowd, you have to make sure that everybody hears you, everyone sees, everybody knows who's controlling the situation, who's working for who. You have to make it very clear. Right? So you go, it's a certain violent, abrupt action. You have to even make the switch from super soft to immediately super hard. Okay? And it has to be instantaneous with massive intent. Like if you fucking move, I'm ripping your fucking healthy body.
Yeah.
We're leaving now. I tried fucking being nice to you, now we're gonna go. And now if you don't go this way, we're going to the fucking hospital or bad. Which one is it?
Yeah.
But this is reality. And people don't want to hear that. So they, but it has to be done this way. Otherwise it's bullshit.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? And a lot of people are not used to seeing people that will throw people in blocks like that. Because a lot of the, I don't care about putting somebody in a headlock. And when I put them, I notice when I always get to this position, notice I always have them here.
Yeah.
So you see your hips fucked?
Mm-hmm.
So I'm going to do an escort like this, and you're going to fucking fling your hand.
Oh, dude.
It hurt, but it didn't die. But now you know how to do it. See what I'm saying? So I'll lift them like that, but harder. Much harder. Okay? So when they leave, they're not talking right. Because they have to. You have to have that power memory in your body. Because you may have to use that someday. You know what I'm saying? And you have to be able to fucking just, and I used to be your side doing this. I didn't get my growth spurt really big until like 17. So I was your size, throwing out fucking people that were bigger like me. So I don't want to hear this shit don't work, I used to do it. Okay? I used to climb on people. Okay? I would literally run up on you and climb on top of you.
To get them.
To take them out?
Yeah.
I would literally run on a motherfucker and then literally like I'm tackling your ass. Like I didn't care. Like a monkey. I would just run up on you. I would run up on you. Because it worked.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But a lot of the ground control stuff I would do is not like jiu-jitsu. I would use my entire fucking body. And I would be front and you would see the concrete, 42nd Street, like I have somebody all like this. I'm scraping my feet, constantly kicking, driving like, motherfucker, you ain't fucking going in here. And I had something to prove I was little. So I had to prove it. You know what I mean? Like, no motherfucker, I ain't letting you fucking get out. There was no jujitsu shit. I'm just fucking punching you down, bro.
Yeah.
And
just brute strength.
It was angles and strength. It was technique involved, but I would overdo it. I was younger. It was crazy.
Any other questions coming off that?
No, I didn't see anything. I think that's it, right? I think Do you have any more questions?
Nah, we could cut it.
You're like, I'm done. I've gotten beat up enough. We're done. I've learned that I use shit.
No, if I wanted to ask you a question, I'll ask you after because I don't want to.
Okay, so the other questions don't ask. All right, guys. I think we've done 3 hours, 13 minutes. All right. I think we did everything. I think I got to everyone's questions. And there's no more excuses. I don't know what else to do. Did I miss anything? Like, you took his course, right? That Adam guy's course?
Like 80 weeks of it, huh?
80 weeks? What'd you get out of it?
The form.
Let's see your form.
I don't want to do that.
Let's see your form. Let's see the beginning of the form. Just the beginning. I want to see what online training can do. Is he fucking worth it? I mean, this guy's pretty good. it's definitely better than when I first met you. It's better than nothing. I mean, look at you doing something. 80 weeks?
Well,
I'm saying,
like I got the whole form, of course.
no, I'm saying you took 80?
83.
Jesus. I didn't really know you that long. Okay, well, at least you got the form. Okay, and it's definitely better than mine. So, you know what? Not terrible. You know, do they give you corrections? Like, do you send them like a video and they correct it, or no? Just.
Well, yes, you can send a video in the Facebook group. You can post your video, and they'll like give you pointers and stuff.
Okay, so they do some kind of corrections though.
Yeah.
But the only thing I did notice is that you were separated your shoulder when you started the form, and you're going. So, you go to do wood off, and lifted your arm by lifting your shoulder. So, I mean, these are little things that you have to use a mirror or record yourself to watch. Another thing that you should think about is the hand that's leading isn't the power generator. It's the hand that's dropping. So the side that's going down is lifting the hand up. So when I want to go lift this hand, I'm not lifting this hand, I'm dropping this side. So I want to move in, I'm not lifting this hand, I'm dropping this one to push this side up.
So that also is mine at 10 also.
It's counterweighting balance from the way the fluid transfers in your body. So the side that's sinking the chi creates a counterforce that lifts the hand. So instead of thinking of raising their hands, think of rolling from underneath and it lifts. So almost like this one wants to go down, which causes this one to go up. More so than I'm lifting my arm. Cool? Mm-hmm. All right, that was a good correction for the end of the stream. All right, love you guys. Send your donations and prostrations and whatever else you guys call it. I know there's gonna be a lot of shit talking anyway, no matter how good an explanation is. But after this, if you guys still saying it's fake, if after this video you guys see this and people are still saying it's fake and you don't tell them to shut up, you're an idiot, just quit Tai Chi. Please just quit. All you guys just quit. Okay? I think we've established that it's real, it's explainable, it's physics. There's just an issue with semantics and verbiage and jargon.
And getting clear training across.
And getting a systemic, that's going to be another. Right now, the main goal is stop people who are supposed to be studying and fighters saying that very basic, fundamental Tai Chi technique is fake. Okay? That's the very first fucking thing.
Yeah, that's a big one.
It's a big problem.
That's a big one. That Tai Chi's for the old man in the park.
The old man, let me tell you something. The old man in the park was fucking scary.
I know, right?
Like, so listen, not all of them, but there were some fucking scary guys I come across that were, Lord, man, I'm like, oh, fuck, man. I want to tell the story.
You're going to be the old man in the park one day.
Yeah, right.
And then they're going to come up to you and be
If I
like,
make it that long. I hope so. You know, I hope so. Alright guys, I did the best I could. Thank you, Doug, for showing up and helping to save the Tai Chi world. You've done very good. I'm impressed by your online training considering, because my first your form was completely shit. So it looks like a form now. You know what I mean? So for online training, I'm going to give Adam the credit because I've seen the form looks pretty decent. I can't tell if your skill really improved because they're two different levels. Like I feel there's something different. You know what I mean? There's definitely more structure, so it's definitely an improvement. I can't really grasp and say how much.
Yeah.
But the fact that your form looks like a form now, I'm going to say that it was not bad. Okay, so I'll give credit to Adam Minzer because I now have one of his students in front of me. I'm throwing around. I didn't even realize that you did 80 weeks with Adam Minzer guy. So there you have it. I actually have one of Adam Minzer's students. I didn't even know it was a student. This happens to me all the time, by the way. Alright? But alright, so I love you guys. See you in the fucking Discord. Thank you for all the help and breaking my balls and all the good stuff. I'll see you guys soon. Peace out. Check out his channel, which is Shifu. Okay, that's SHIFU. Don. Alright, so catch you guys there. Peace out. Thank you.
What I wanted to